I mean, this is like the best time to be MAGA and supporting Trump than we've had in years. I mean, everything is coming together just perfectly. And I'm going to cover all these things today on the stream. We won't want to miss this. We're going to be on the air in about 40 seconds live, and I'm just going to jump right into it when we get on the air. If you're new to my channel, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. You won't want to miss a moment of any of my streams, any of my videos, but today in particular is a really good one. We got lots of stuff going on. A listener sent me, I'll show you guys this later, they bought me something and sent it from the Trump store, and it's a really cool gift from the Trump store. That's pretty amazing. I'll show you guys later what it is. There we go.
1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome one and all. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, and I am here to tell you that everything is coming together perfectly for President Trump to waltz into a second term, a non-consecutive second term, which we're going to find out will be better than if he had two consecutive terms. You know, what's going to happen when Trump comes in for his second and, as I said, non-consecutive term, what's going to happen is he's going to have a complete mandate to accomplish his entire agenda, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because his agenda is a great agenda, and what's going on with the left and the never-Trumpers who have unified in the uniparty against President Trump has been nothing but a complete disaster for them. And I'm going to go through a lot of this today. We've got so much to cover. And your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Okay. So this Iowa State Fair that they're all making a big deal about, they always make a big deal about the Iowa State Fair for whatever reason. And the first time I remember really following this Iowa State Fair Republican business was during Trump's first campaign. And if you remember, Trump, when he went to the first campaign, he was not president yet, and he took, this was great, he took his helicopter there, and President Trump was offering free rides to the kiddies in his helicopter. Oh man, do you guys remember that? And I remember there was this one little kid, he was really little, and he was with his mom, and President Trump would get in. President Trump wasn't just giving the kids rides in the helicopter, he was taking the rides with them. He was like part of the ride. I'd be just excited to step in that helicopter on the ground, but it actually took off with Trump inside with the kids and parents. And there was this one video, I'm sure you guys remember, President Trump's in the helicopter, he's got all these kids in there and the parents, and they take off from the ground, and this little kid says, "Are you Batman?" Because he's like a billionaire with all this cool stuff. He says, "Are you Batman?" And Trump looks at him and says, "Yes, I'm Batman." And the kid like believed him, remember that? So they got the Iowa State Fair thing, and President Trump is going to do something beautiful, which I'll get to in a bit. But first, Ron DeSantis. Oh, Ron DeSantis, my governor, Ron DeSanctimonious. Ron DeSantis did a couple of things yesterday that you should not do. And that is, he made two decisions yesterday in a state of panic, a state of anxiety. And when you're in a crisis, that's like the worst time to make a decision. And for normal people, and presidents have to make decisions during crises all the time, but when someone makes decisions during a crisis and they're bad decisions, those are disqualifiers. But Ron DeSantis did two things yesterday which were really pathetic, and one was just a disastrous decision for his future. Now, the first one is firing this state's attorney, this prosecutor in Orlando. Now, I know she's one of those wokester Soros prosecutors, and firing her probably was the right thing to do. But why yesterday, right? what had happened is, and I'm sure everything that Ron DeSantis said about her is right, and she should not be a prosecutor. I mean, she doesn't even prosecute half the cases, I heard someone say, So, firing the girl was probably the right thing to do, but the timing of it was pathetic. So yesterday, if you remember, and this is not the big bad decision he made, this just goes to how desperate he is. So the story yesterday, one of the ones I was talking about on the program, in the latest polls, Donald Trump not only is ahead, but way ahead and has gained, and Ron DeSantis is now in single digits in New Hampshire. Single digits. So do you think it's just a coincidence that he's in single digits and all of a sudden he comes back to Florida and does a high-profile firing of some liberal wokester prosecutor? No. It's not a coincidence. He and his team got together and they came up with a desperate strategy. It's like, all this where woke comes to die is not resonating. You got to do what it is you do. Get back to Florida and start leading. Start leading. Be tough. So he did what he was told as a regular tough guy would do, right? Yeah. After his advisors and focus groups, and he came to Florida and did a high-profile firing so he could look like he was a man and in charge because he's in single digits in the polls now. I mean, it was, again, I'm sure she's bad news. Orlando's was a sanctuary city, very liberal, and the liberals have destroyed, which was once a great Florida city, Orlando. And it's a pit. It used to be a great place. So that was just pathetic. And the prosecutor, she was stupid. She came out in a press conference and just whined. If she would have said what I said, she would have gotten a lot more mileage with her disapproval. But like I say, firing her is probably the right thing to do, but the timing of it shows that he's in a state of panic. But that's not the big mistake he made. He signed a pledge yesterday. This guy, I tell you, do not make important decisions when you're in a state of panic. He signed a pledge yesterday that he would vote for Donald Trump. That's right. He signed a pledge, Ron DeSantis, saying that he would vote for President Donald Trump. Now, it's this loyalty pledge that Trump will not sign, and I've got some audio of President Trump talking about that I'll get to later. But the Republicans want people to sign this loyalty pledge that they will vote for whoever the Republican nominee eventually is. And they have to sign that pledge to participate in the debates. Donald Trump has not signed the pledge. It says he has said multiple times he will not sign it, and they're still begging him to be in the debate. Well, yeah, I know. Isn't this something? This is absolutely amazing. So, and we know that Ron DeSantis is not going to be the nominee. It's going to be Donald Trump. So, in effect, he signed a pledge to vote for Donald Trump. Now, there was two things happened yesterday with DeSantis that caused him to panic. The first were the single digits in the polls. That was the first, okay? So he was single digits in the polls, and that just flipped him out. But then his friends over at Fox News, who have been promoting this guy for a year and dissing our great President Trump, when you're doing things live, craziness can happen. So I'm looking at the clock. I don't have time to play this before the break. So I'm going to get to the break, go to the break, and then after the break, Fox News did something yesterday that caused Ron DeSantis to go into a complete and utter panic. And I have the clip, and I'm going to share it with you after the break. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Oh, this is beautiful. I love it. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Indeed it is, on the radio since 1977, celebrating, that's right, 46 years on the radio this year. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our first break of the day, come right back with the clip of how Fox News freaked out Ron DeSantis yesterday. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Oh, this is great. This is just unbelievably great. It does not get better than this. And I know you guys, and I was not watching Fox. I saw what I'm going to share with you on social media, and I pulled up the clip. But this is great. I cannot wait. You know, when things are live, you never know what's going to happen, right? And what had happened with DeSantis on Fox yesterday is what happens when things are live. You never know what's going to happen when things are live. That's what happens. So Ron DeSantis, he blew it yesterday, but that's good. I mean, do you guys know what I mean? Have you ever been in a state of panic, a state of anxiety? You're completely freaking out, and then you do stupid stuff because you're in a panic. Well, that's what DeSantis did. But that's okay. It helps Trump, and that helps us. So in a way, DeSantis did us a big favor through his panic attack yesterday. Oh, where am I? I'm just queuing everything up. Oh, yes. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, and everyone like the video. Oh, this was wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Anybody catch the Eric Bolling interview with President Trump? I'm going to play a little bit of that. Very good interview. Oh, yeah. I mean, with DeSantis, we've just watched a man destroy his entire political career over his obsession with his Trump hate that he couldn't contain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio. Okay. It's the last commercial. I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around. All right. These are the only two. I got the audio queued up and ready to go. Use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. It's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Ball Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com. All right, welcome back, one and all. My name is Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, so DeSantis messed up yesterday, and I just cannot wait to share this with you. I can't wait to share this with you. Okay, so two things happened yesterday that were devastating to Ron DeSantis, and he did nothing but make bad decisions, okay? One, as I said, he is now single digits in some of the polls in these early primary states, so that freaked him out. And then this other thing happened live on Fox News, which just caused him to have a complete meltdown. So as a result, DeSantis did two things. He came down and fired a prosecutor so he could look like a butch, tough man. And I just think, again, it's probably right to get rid of her and fire her, this elected official, which is a pretty big deal. But he obviously did it because he needed to look like he was a tough leader. And then the other thing he did that was just really stupid is he signed the loyalty pledge with the RNC, pledging to vote for whoever, not only vote, but support and endorse. Okay? So he promised to vote, support, and endorse whoever the eventual Republican nominee is
And that, of course, is going to be Donald Trump. Okay, now turn your radios up loud for this one. I had a clip yesterday I said turn your radios up loud for, and I don't really say that very often because I figure you have your radio at the appropriate volume level, but sometimes things are so good you want to turn it up extra loud so you can just enjoy it a little bit more. So turn your radios up as loud as you can without, disturbing people. So Fox News, that has been defending and promoting Ron DeSantis with the Fox News Ron DeSantis infomercial for the last year or so, they did something yesterday that just sent DeSantis over the edge. And it was with Lawrence Jones. Now, I have nothing against Lawrence Jones. I just don't think he's all that smart. And he came from the Blaze, if I remember correctly. And they love Lawrence Jones on Fox. I mean, and they're so racist about it. Anytime you're watching Fox and Lawrence Jones comes on, they make such a big deal about it, like he's a child, right? Lawrence Jones is here. We're going to find out what Lawrence Jones thinks. Oh, Lawrence Jones, what are your thoughts on that? They overemphasize. Who is he? I got nothing against Lawrence Jones, but the overhyping of Lawrence Jones borders on racism over there at Fox News. And I've talked about that a lot over the few years that he's been there, even before I left Fox News over their disgust. Okay, so Lawrence Jones is live in South Dakota yesterday on Fox News. And there's a whole bunch of people out there that are Republicans, and he starts asking them who they support to be president. And this was live on Fox News, and this moment on Fox, more so than even the single-digit poll of Ron DeSantis, is what drove Ron DeSantis into a complete state of anxiety, panic attacks, making bad decisions all day long. So here it is, Lawrence Jones. See, when things are live, you never know what's going to happen, right? Here's Lawrence Jones unintentionally causing Ron DeSantis to flip out yesterday. Okay, here we go. Lawrence Jones in South Dakota.
I'm going to show of hands. When it comes to the 2024 race, who thinks that Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party?
Yeah, see, now you can't see the hands, but you can hear the cheers, and they all got their hands up, and the crowd goes wild for Donald Trump.
Get a show of hands. When it comes to the 2024 race, who thinks that Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party? Okay, all right. How many people think Ron DeSantis is going to be the nominee? Vivek Ramaswamy. Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, okay?
Oh my goodness, with Ron DeSantis, it's the sound of silence. That's why I had you turn your radio up, because the only thing you could hear were a couple guys saying no. And that Lawrence Jones. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. In fact, if that were not live, if that was a recorded segment, we never would have seen it. And you put all this together, and Ron DeSantis has lost his mind. And actually, the way that Ron DeSantis handled his campaign crisis yesterday and all week, I mean, firing his campaign manager and all this stuff, shows that he's not fit to be commander-in-chief, that he cannot handle the pressure. And I know he's got a new campaign out where and he volunteered, and he was not a Navy SEAL, but he was with the Navy SEAL, and I get that, and you would think that sounds like a tough guy, but not really. Not really. This is great. I'll be playing this throughout the day.
I'm going to show of hands. When it comes to the 2024 race, who thinks that Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party? Okay, all right. How many people think Ron DeSantis is going to be the nominee? Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, okay?
Oh, man, Lawrence Jones, Fox News executives were probably as angry at him as they were at Tucker. So then he signs the pledge, Ron DeSantis, to the RNC. The pledge states that he will support the eventual nominee of the party's primary. and that the candidate will not participate in any debate the RNC has not sanctioned. The pledge is part of the criteria that Republican candidates must meet to qualify for the first primary debate, August 23rd on Fox News, hosted by Trump haters Bret Baier and Martha MacCallum. So Trump has not only not signed this pledge, he said he won't sign it, and they're still begging him to be in the debate. According to Ron DeSantis' campaign, the pledge will not impact DeSantis' recent agreement to participate in a debate moderated by Fox News' Sean Hannity against Gavin Newsom. Who's going to watch that? Who cares about that? DeSantis joins Vivek Ramaswamy as the only other Republican candidate to have both met the qualifications for the first debate and signed the pledge. The pledge has proven to be a sore spot for some contenders. Will Hurd, who told CNN he wouldn't sign the pledge because Trump could become the nominee, and the others have not yet signed it. So Ron DeSantis signed a pledge promising and vowing with his word as an officer, a gentleman, and a man that he'll support Donald Trump because Donald Trump is going to be the nominee. Okay? And we all know this. And you can tell, courtesy of Lawrence Jones yesterday on Fox News. Wouldn't you love to have been in the Ron DeSantis? How long do you think it was after that happened with Lawrence Jones that the DeSantis campaign were on the phone with the Murdochs? This isn't how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be taking care of us. You're supposed to be covering for us. What happened? How did Lawrence Jones do that? Do you think Lawrence Jones was talked to yesterday about not doing live polls on the air? You got to love it, guys. You've got to love it. My name's Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. This is the 46th year of The Steve Kane Show on the radio. My name is Brian. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. And remember, if you ever miss a show or a portion of a show, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com, and each day around 10, about an hour after we go off the air at trueoldiesfla.com, Mike, our board op, uploads the entire show as a podcast, and it is archived up there forever, all right? So maybe you called in and you want to hear your call or save your call or download your call. You can do that too. trueoldiesfla.com. All right, we'll take our bottom of the hour break, and we've just gotten started here. We got a lot to cover. We'll be back right after this break.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
Oh. Do you think that DeSantis campaign called Fox after that?
I swear it sounds like he says Chrisley. I swear I hear something in the back of ooh.
Yeah. It did kind of sound like that.
Outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Lawrence Jones. Good job yesterday, Lawrence Jones.
Morning, area-wide, the WPBF 25 first 40 weather day. Heat indices again between 110 and 115, and some isolated strong storms late. Under the
Where am I here?
morning, meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by Pond.
Oh, there's a new Trump ad. I'll play the Trump ad when we get back. So, one of our listeners, Brad, who was on our cruise, sent me this really cool gift from the official Trump store. Isn't that fancy?
And now, on True
Look at this. Let me show you.
brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
So this is a receipt inside of here. So isn't that nice? Official money. This here in itself is a gift, and this is on because it's the Trump store. This is like nice paper. It's expensive paper. And then you get this cool card from the Trump store. And it says, "From our family to yours, thank you for shopping with us. As a Trump enthusiast, you only deserve the best, and we hope you enjoy your purchase. We have many exciting new products in store for you, including exclusive collections inspired by our world-class properties. We appreciate your business and hope that you will visit us again soon. With best wishes, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump." And then there's a Trump Club. If you scan the code on the back, that you can join. All these things are like a gift too, on top of the cool gift. I'll show you what it is. So the Trump card, this is a Trump card privileges program, it says. Trump card privileges program. And it says, designed with you in mind, the Trump Card Privileges Program is a complimentary membership program that ensures you make the most of your travel by offering access to exclusive offers, special member benefits, and the ability to earn points on qualified stays. So you can, like, I guess, stay at Trump, like, properties with the Trump card. And then look at this. It has this fancy paper. I'm going to keep this. Look at that fancy paper. Look at that. Let me take, I don't want to, look at the paper. The paper, that's like, I'm going to keep that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that fancy? And look at that. Okay, so here's the gift. This is awesome. This is a Donald Trump, from the official Trump store. This is a Donald Trump Make America Great Again wireless Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, Brad, he's one of our listeners. It's called the DJT Bitty Boomer Speaker. So it connects, yeah. Oh, yeah. Isn't that awesome? Pretty cool. Well, thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. And all the cool paper and everything that it came with. Oh, man. That's like the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, I can't even describe how nice the paper is on the card. It is cool, isn't it? Oh, man. Well, thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely use that. Yeah. Yeah, that's an awesome gift, yeah. All right, so let me get to the new Trump ad. Yeah, Brad's a nice guy. He was on our cruise. He'll be on the next one. See, we got good people on our cruise. Oh, I got to clear my throat. Let me take the mic off. Very nice gift.
I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go. But the risk of stroke...
Oh, boy.
You have it. Tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Like any good agent, we're here for the open house. For the closing, we're handing over keys. But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing for all. Realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
All right. Last. Here we go. Coming back.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. A great day. And I want to personally thank Lawrence Jones for helping Donald Trump just get one more step closer to his second term. Wonderful. So now this is a great day. So President Trump has a new ad. Oh, this is a great ad. You want to hear the new ad? This is great. I want to play it for you. This is the latest Trump ad. It's a beautiful ad, and it calls out so many of the villains that we have here. Let me play this. This is the new Trump ad. I love it. I saw this ad this morning. It's like, wow. Wow. I mean, this guy, Donald Trump, he is not a mortal man, Donald Trump. He's not a mortal man. Most people, not just political people, but most people would cave to just 1/1000th of the oppression and pressure he's under, right? And not only does he stand strong during all of these pressures, think about it. They got 2 federal indictments, the New York indictment, the Atlanta indictments are coming, and he puts together this ad. Listen to this.
How far will the most corrupt president in history go to keep Republicans from winning back the White House? Meet the cast of unscrupulous accomplices he's assembled to get Trump. Alvin Bragg, the radical liberal New York prosecutor who refuses to prosecute violent criminals. Jack Smith, who's made a career persecuting innocent Republican officials. Letitia James, the socialist who ran on the promise, I'll go after Trump. And Biden's newest lackey, Atlanta DA, Fani Willis. So incompetent, on her watch, violent crimes had exploded. So tainted, Willis was thrown off one case for trying to prosecute a political opponent. So corrupt, Willis got caught hiding a relationship with a gang member she was prosecuting. So dishonest, Willis was accused of creating a fake subpoena. Welcome to the fraud squad.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Oh my goodness. I mean, what? Oh, have you heard anything like that? I can't believe. Even I'm shocked that Trump did this. Think about it. He's got 4 corrupt prosecutors going after him, and he puts together a commercial attacking the 4 prosecutors. Who does that? Who does that? An innocent man. Donald Trump does it. You know, when people are facing criminal court trials, right? Especially in multiple jurisdictions, I mean, they have so many charges against President Trump. He could be in prison until, I don't know, beyond the tricentennial, the quadtennial, or whatever you have. I mean, they have so many charges against him. He's facing hundreds of years in prison. Hundreds of years in prison. And yeah, multiple life sentences with these charges. Have you ever seen anyone who was on trial for anything put out national television ads attacking by name and going through the records of the prosecutors prosecuting them in a case? And he did it in 4 cases, including one where they haven't even officially come out with the charges yet. Here you've got Ron DeSantis, who gets in the single digits in a poll. Lawrence Jones does something that so many MAGA people didn't even see because of the Fox News exodus. And he runs to Florida like a little girl and is in a complete panic state, trying to look like he's got, you know, a big pair and that he's a man. He goes down here, fires a woman. Oh, I'm tough, yes. He signs the pledge. I'm a loyal Republican. He's in a complete panic attack, like a hysterical woman. Like that hysterical woman on the airplane that they're all talking about. You see that crazy lady on the airplane that was seeing people that weren't there? Right? That's how Ron DeSantis was yesterday. Just over a couple minor things. Here's President Trump facing centuries behind bars, and he puts out an ad attacking, and not just, well, I shouldn't say attacking. I don't think attack is the right description. Exposing the corrupt prosecutors persecuting him. It's unheard of. I'd love to know what his attorneys told him about that. I wonder if his attorneys told him, you shouldn't do that, Mr. President, or did they say, yes, do it? It's hard for me to believe that an attorney would sign off on something like that. That's insanely amazing. And I've never seen anything by. And I'm so glad he did it, because now a lot of accusations are made. Now people can start investigating them.
How far will the most corrupt president in history go to keep Republicans from winning back the White House? Meet the cast of unscrupulous accomplices he's assembled to get Trump. Alvin Bragg, the radical liberal New York prosecutor who refuses to prosecute violent criminals. Jack Smith, who's made a career persecuting innocent Republican officials. Letitia James, the socialist who ran on the promise, I'll go after Trump. And Biden's newest lackey, Atlanta DA, Fani Willis. So incompetent, on her watch, violent crimes have exploded. So tainted, Willis was thrown off one case for trying to prosecute a political opponent. So corrupt, Willis got caught hiding a relationship with a gang member she was prosecuting. So dishonest, Willis was accused of creating a fake subpoena. Welcome to the Fraud Squad.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Oh my God, I told you yesterday, Trump is investigating the investigators. He's got it. Yeah, this is beautiful. You know, whoever he has behind the scenes, Donald Trump, really is a new dream team. What he's doing here is the actions of either a completely insane lunatic, which we know he's not, or someone who not only is innocent, but is so confident in their innocence that they're standing up and doing all kinds of things. And here on CNN the other day, they're having discussions about a plea deal. You think Trump sounds like he's going to take a plea deal? So then he does more. This is amazing. Let me pull this story up. By the way, our number is 1-888-GAIN-1. So now listen to this. This is, and I'll get to the calls in just a moment. This is crazy. This is upper level campaigning. Donald Trump will campaign at an Iowa event this weekend, joined by 9 members of Florida's Republican congressional delegation who endorsed him over DeSantis. I mean, talk about sticking it to DeSantis. Trump will visit the Iowa State Fair Saturday. His campaign told the Des Moines Register that Trump would be joined by Florida reps, a whole bunch, Byron Donalds and some Matt Gaetz, Brian Mast, Corey Mills, Anna Paulina Luna, Gus Bilirakis, and Mike Waltz, and one guy I've never heard of, Greg Steube. I've heard of Steube, actually, now that I say it out loud. I've just never seen his name in writing. So here he's coming, he's taking on these corrupt prosecutors, and then he's getting in Ron DeSantis' face by bringing 9 Republicans from Florida that endorsed him over the governor, DeSantis, to the event where DeSantis is going to be. And that's why we call him the boss. I mean, this is amazing stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Arizona. Terry, how you doing this morning?
All right, Terry. What a great day.
Oh, 3:30 a.m. here in pouring rain. But, hey, listen, to back up everything we've been talking about, a little off track with Vivek. I don't know if anybody saw Liz Wheeler's YouTube. It was yesterday or day before yesterday, talking about Vivek's tweets and information from his book that comes right out and says that he backed Pence. He wanted to see what what's her face Cheney had to say. That was so important.
Really?
He's an anti-Trumper, it turns out.
Yeah.
And everything else.
I'll go back and watch that. That was Liz Wheeler yesterday. I didn't catch it, but I'll go watch it today.
She says, is Vivek a grifter or for real? And it turns out he's a grifter. He was for Pence. He blamed Trump for January 6th.
But but here's the thing. Here's how President Trump operates. Okay, President Trump, if you notice throughout from the first campaign till this point, President Trump does not attack people first. He waits until they attack him, and a second part of his way is that he goes after whoever is the front runner running against him, and then when they're out of the way, then whoever the new front runner is, he makes them the person that he goes after. So he's been saying nothing but some passing compliments on Ramaswamy, and because he's focusing in on a laser beam on Walmart Melania's husband, Ron DeSanctimonious. I mean, what he's doing was amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's aggravating because, you know, you listen to Tim Pool and other guys like, you know, and you're about the only one out there that sees through this crap. And, you know, they're all like, well, you know, but that could make a good vice president. Oh, no, he won't.
Well, what you're listening, is what I've been, a couple things, okay? You're listening to millennials that are all excited because he's a millennial and they're a millennial, like Tim Pool. And Tim Pool, who's bald and wears a cap all day, like Michael Nesmith from the Monkees. He wants to look cool, but really he's just bald on top. But Tim Pool, you know, he's a millennial. Ramaswamy's a millennial, and he wants that interview, you know. And we don't do a lot of interviews on this program because, you know, people compromise themselves in this business for interviews. What good's the interview if it's an infomercial? It's an embarrassment if it's an infomercial, you know. And Ramaswamy is not. Ramaswamy is not even a player at this point. He's not even a player. And he's beating DeSantis here and there. It's not that he's growing in support. It's DeSantis is losing so much support.
You know, people are picking up on, isn't he just a little bit too polished when you really start thinking about it?
Well, if you listen to him speak, he's not really that polished. He sounds weird when he talks in extended periods. Wait until you see him. Yeah.
Yeah, she said that he doesn't even have FDA approvals on any of this stuff.
Well, I don't know. I'll check that out, but I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, it's Katie with Will Floor You, and I'm sure you've already heard the news. We are moving, and we are so close you can hit a 9-iron shot. It's on the corner of alternate A1A and Indiantown Road next to Publix. We have been serving Jupiter for over 40 years. We strive to make buying new flooring for your home friendly, fresh, and convenient.
Oh, I've got a new message that Mike Lindell emailed me that I'm going to start talking about after the break. Oh, this is beautiful. Things have never been better than they are for us right now.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about our family dentist at the Kane household.
Doesn't get better than this.
From cleanings to implants, he does it all. We love Dr. Gupta at our household because he takes the pain and the anxiety out of dental work, all at an affordable price. Call Dr. Gupta at 954-922-4633. Tell him Steve sent you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? These are real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-822-1388. 800-822-1388.
Oh, this is great stuff. It's great days, guys. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video, guys. When you like the video, that helps spread the word about this channel to people that have not yet found it. There's about 1,200 people in the live stream right now, and only a few of you like the video. So please like the video. That helps a lot, guys. Oh, yeah, this is the most pro-MAGA Donald Trump place anywhere in media. Isn't that a cool Bluetooth speaker, that Trump Bluetooth speaker? I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that on my desk and use it at home. My stray cat, Luna, she's doing great.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. It's Lisa in Texas.
Oh, hey, Lisa.
Listen, I saw an interview with Vivek, a part of an interview with Vivek with Jordan Peterson, of all things. And here's what I found out. This man has absolutely no clue what he's up against. He admitted to Jordan Peterson that when he was deciding to become a runner, for president,
yeah,
he wanted to start something brand new, something where everyone could pull together. I'm like, this dude doesn't even realize that MAGA, that's what's already happened.
Yeah, that is new. It's new. MAGA's new. This is a new movement. Yeah.
Yeah, MAGA's the new movement, and he's not on the train. He's just completely devoid of any, admittances this is going on.
Yeah.
It has no chance. My husband said, you can't win something when you don't know what you're up against.
That's true. That's true. So so things are going very well. Did you hear the new Trump ad?
Oh my gosh, the fraud squad.
I love it. I mean, have you ever heard of a defendant in a criminal case? He's got 4 of them. But have you ever heard of a defendant in a criminal case running national TV ads attacking the prosecutor before trial?
Yeah, exactly.
I've never heard that before.
Never. And the only person who can do it, who's got the guts and the swagger and the moxie and the confidence, is President Trump.
That's right. All right, Lisa, I appreciate the call. Now, I got an email this morning from Mr. Mike Lindell, the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, and wanted me to tell you about something new. He sent me some new ad copy. I want to share it with you right now, and this is for parents and grandparents out there, and this goes for aunts and uncles too. But parents, grandparents, are you tired? And I know the answer to this question is yes. Are you tired of liberal influences overshadowing the values that you're trying to instill in your children? Absolutely. I know you guys are. And I worry about this. My daughter in California, oh my goodness, Whew. I told her if she comes back a Democrat, she's cut off. But Mike Lindell is introducing the Bible story pillows for kids. These are absolutely amazing. And if you go to mypillow.com, you can see them. Your children will rediscover the cherished stories that have shaped our entire civilization with the Mike Lindell Bible story pillows for kids. Say goodbye to all those comic book characters and hello to timeless tales that matter from our great Holy Bible. From Adam and Eve to Noah's Ark, the pillows are a gateway to our great, great Bible. But that's not all. With the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, you'll receive 50% off the Mike Lindell Bible Story Pillows for Kids. 50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout. Picture baby Jesus on your little one's pillow. That's right. It's beautiful. And, of course, Jonah and the whale and many other great stories from the Bible. Share bedtime with Daniel in the Lion's Den and watch your kids' imagination soar. Oh, yes. Now, both sides have both artwork and the Bible story on them. Again, use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and save 50% off Mike Lindell's MyPillow Bible Story Pillows for Kids. And also, these are new. Mike Lindell has the Bible Story Throw Blankets, which are available just for a limited time. They're in short supply. So take advantage of this incredible opportunity with Mike Lindell's Bible Story Pillows and Mike Lindell's Bible Story Throw Blankets for the kids. 50% off at mypillow.com with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE at checkout. All right, so, I mean, this is just a day like we have not experienced in a long time. I mean, there's just so many victories that President Trump is experiencing and that we're benefiting from. But I do want to play this one clip of Biden with the Weather Channel reporter that he touched inappropriately yesterday. This is during the interview with the lady Weather Channel interviewer with Biden.
Are you prepared to declare a national emergency with respect to climate change?
We've already done that. We've conserved more land. We've moved in we've rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. We passed a $368 billion climate control facility. We're moving. It is the existential threat to humanity.
So you've already declared that national emergency?
Well, in practice, you have a bug on it.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, now here's the part now. Okay, so climate emergency, blah, blah, blah. But the next part, listen closely about the bug.
National emergency.
Well, in practice, you have a bug on it.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. So you've already declared declare that national emergency.
Practically speaking, yes.
Okay, this is one of the most perverted things a president has ever done on television with an interviewer. And if you watch the video of that interview, you know, Joe Biden, he's always been a perv and a creep and a weirdo and a nasty person. Those of you that remember him when he was younger, he was one of the nastiest members of the United States Senate you've ever seen. He was a senior member. So you ever see when Schumer comes out with the reading glasses that look like the skin on his nose have grown over them because they never leave the tip of his nose, and does those press conferences in that doorway? Biden used to be the leader of that. And he was always screaming and yelling and was nasty. He had the worst hair transplants you've ever seen. Rush called him Plugs Biden. And those hair transplants back then, they were like, what we called them were doll hair, right? You ever see how doll's hair is? It was like doll hair plugs. It was just, oh, and he was nasty. But now that he's in this dementia state, people, now this is, in Florida, those, you know, we in Florida, we have the oldest population in America. So everywhere you go, there's people suffering with dementia. When people are suffering from dementia, quite often the most negative qualities about them become more pronounced. And I don't know if that's the issue with Biden, or is it just because he's the president right now and there's always cameras catching his every move. So I don't know which it is. But he touched that woman on her boob to get the bug off, okay? And if you watch that segment in the video, he's not even listening to her or looking at her. He's looking at her boobs, and he's thinking about a way to touch them. And then he did it. He was probably in his head praying that the bug would land on that part of her so he could touch her. Are you kidding me? You know, where's the media on this? Now, on an unrelated thing with the dementia sufferers, do we have anyone in, I know we got a lot of people in Boca. Who's the rocket scientist that redesigned Glades Road driving over I-95 on the I-95 bridge? Have any of you been on this lately? Have you been over, you go over there, Mike? Oh, yeah, this is wonderful. No matter which way you're going, east or west, on Glades Road, and you drive over I-95, they've changed everything over there. You're driving on the left side of the road. They have the lane switch where no matter if you're going east or west on Glades Road, all of a sudden you're on the left side of the road. I've driven on it 3 times. It's confusing as hell. I drove on it this morning around 5 a.m., heading to I-95, and people were so confused. That area of town is where the oldest of the old are driving in Boca. It is that is a death trap. And I don't know who came up with that idea, but whoever designed the lane changes where you're driving on the left side of the road on Glades Road, east or west, over I-95, and I'm not kidding, you're on the right side of the road like you're supposed to be, and then all of a sudden you're on the left side of the road. And they have signs, do not enter, do not enter. There are people on the road that are 96 years old. This is Boca Raton. It's insane. And I know I cannot be the only one who noticed this. And I would avoid that area if I could, especially during rough traffic times, because it's dangerous enough driving in Boca with the old drivers in a regular day, not to mention now for just, and then you're just on the left side of the road while you go over the bridge, but then again you're on the right side of the road. It's a disaster. Whoever came up with that is going to end up being like a serial killer. It's insane. It's like the people that designed the 595 at State Road 84 in Fort Lauderdale. They've had a lot of accidents. Just a deadly, sociopathic engineer designed that road. I know, unless you drive on Glades Road in Boca, you probably don't care about that. But I don't know how that happened. And it really, even this, I've driven on it 3 times. And today was the 3rd time, and every time I'm like confused. So what are they doing over there? Anyway, just Just be on the lookout. All right, now back to the major issues. So I'm going to get into some more after the break on this, but yesterday, so far in President Trump's third campaign, yesterday was probably the best day so far. I mean, there's been a lot of great days, but yesterday was a great day and a perfect day, and things are going well, and I am very excited. Things could not be going better for the Trump campaign than they are going right now. And these people on the left and the Republican establishment uniparty can't figure out why he is doing so well and is so popular. One of the reasons he's doing so well is because they won't stop oppressing him. If they would leave him alone, he would still be popular and win, but he wouldn't be like at 70% in the polls. So when we get back from the top of the hour break, there's much more to talk about, including, did you guys see Eric Bolling's interview with President Trump? Great interview. I want to share some of that as well. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back with your calls and more after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit.
Okay.
561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
Oh. I got to recap the Ron DeSantis stuff in the first, when we get back. And then I got to, then I'll get to new stuff because it's all too good.
Another excessive heat warning area-wide at WPBF 25 first warning weather day. Heat indices again.
Now, I got a very nasty email about,
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach
Hold
Patio
on.
Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best.
Where's that audio? Okay. I got a very nasty email from someone about my interaction with Richie the bus driver yesterday, which I don't know if I'll read on the air or not. I might read it on the air. I don't know. Do you guys want to hear it? Or should I read it during the break? During a break. Oh. This is just such a wonderful, I mean, the news is just so beautiful for Trump. Just beautiful. It probably, I mean, it's not signed Richie, but it sounds like it is. Maybe I'll read it and ask people to.
Del Mar, and more. Visit our incredible Paddock restaurant with over 180 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional eats, wine, and full bar. The Paddock is also your
Well, I don't have enough time. It's a very long email.
Music and dinner shows. For a full schedule of upcoming shows, go to PB.
I'll read it during the next break, and you guys let me know whether or not it was written by Richie. All right?
Richard Bisson talking with ABC News affiliate.
Or maybe I'll read it on the air. Should I read it on the air? The guy really pissed off at me.
There's like explosions and just black smoke everywhere, and your skin was thick with dust, and the wind on top of all of that was so crazy that at any point in time you're like,
No. Why should I not read it on the air, Debbie?
things flying through the air, and then
Gloria says yes. It's a 50-50 split on should I read it on the air. I only got one email, one message about Richie, and it's insanely long.
Thank you. What does it say? Beware, if you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today.
I'm not going to do it when I get back, but let me do a poll. We'll ask now. Yes or no? Should I read the email attacking me about Richie on the air? Yes or no? We'll do a poll now. Read it. Okay. Oh, the yeses have it. Absolutely. Okay, the yeses have it. There are some no's. Okay.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And, I got to talk about my chiropractor. Dr. Appleton is amazing. And I'm feeling so good because I'm pain-free. Pain is awful, man. When you're in pain, the pains I've had, I've not had any minor pains. I know it's like sometimes people act like aches and pains are just like, The pains I've had that I've been rid of by Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment were pains that were so bad that I was sometimes almost in tears, but sometimes just wanted to go to sleep. That kind of pain? It's awful. Pain it's a disability. It makes life difficult, unbearable, impossible. You limit yourself. And now that I'm completely pain-free, I'm even in a better mood. I'm happier because when you're in pain, sometimes you got to yell out to get the relief or attempt to. And my last skateboard accident, my shoulder was in so much pain. I thought I had I tore a muscle, the rotator cuff or something. I was like really, really hurting. And after my laser wave pain treatment, before I even left the office, I was starting to feel better. I couldn't believe I was starting to feel better already. I'm completely pain-free now. And, I had 2 treatments with the laser wave pain treatment. And after the first treatment, I don't know, about 60, 70% of the pain was gone. I went in on a Thursday. I went back on Saturday for a follow-up, and boom, completely gone after that. And I told Dr. Appleton, I said, if I would have gone to like a specialist that does what do they call those doctors that do surgery on joints? What kind of doctor does that? I can't remember off the top of my head. I said they would have had me scheduled for a surgery already. Right. So listen, stop suffering. Orthopedic. Yeah, I said if I'd have gone to an orthopedic doctor, I said this to Dr. Appleton, I said they would have had my surgery scheduled already. And he's like, yeah. Listen, stop suffering. Go see Dr. Appleton. All right? Appointments aren't necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. All right? Now, I'm going to give you his number. If you need him to, when you call Dr. Appleton's office, they'll text you directions to his office to your cell phone, okay? His number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, appletonchiro.com. All right, now, let me take a call or two, and then I'll get into some stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Rob from California.
Hey, Rob. What's up?
Hey, I'm just thinking about Lawrence Jones. I predict that Fox is going to give Lawrence Jones the Tucker Carlson treatment.
Oh, really? Because he screwed up yesterday. He messed up the DeSantis campaign.
Yeah, I loved hearing that. Oh man, that was beautiful. So,
well, I'm gonna play it at least once an hour today. I've played it twice already. I'm gonna play it in a few minutes again.
I can't wait. I have to admit, I woke up a little late. I'm about 20 minutes behind on the video here, but I'll catch up.
Okay. You're lonely. Did you say you're lonely?
No, I'm behind.
Oh, you're behind. I'm hearing things. I could have swore you said you're lonely. You're behind. Okay, well, you'll catch up.
Yeah, I'll catch up. I want to make one more prediction. I say that in 6 months, Lawrence Jones will pop up on these backs.
Oh, we'll see. All right. Take care, man. All right. Now, I'm going to replay this Lawrence Jones thing here in just a bit. I'm not going to do this now, and I'm not even sure I should do this. I got a very long email about my interaction with Richie the bus driver yesterday. I didn't get any other messages or comments about Richie. I got one email, and it's a long email, and they're pretty ticked off at me. And I might read it on the air if we have time. Because And the question, and I'll when I get to it, I'll ask you this question. Was the email written by Richie the bus driver or a close friend of his? Just consider that. I'm not going to do it right now, but the person's very upset. I only got one comment about the interaction with Richie the bus driver. So if I'd have gotten like a whole bunch of messages, I would be like, okay, I'm going to read this. But because I only got one email and it's so long, I'm questioning whether or not I should read it. But the more I read it, the more it sounds like it was written or dictated by Richie, and that makes me want to read it. You know, I will see. All right. Anyway, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug. You know, the first thing I want to say is I definitely agree with what they did to Glades Road. And when I went over, I said, what did they do? There's nothing wrong here. They put this road, and that was so confusing. Anyway.
Oh, you're talking about Glades Road and the I-95 bridge? Yeah. You've driven over it? You've driven over it?
Several times.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, the people that drive there are mostly people that shouldn't even be on the road anymore. Right?
That's for sure. I'm telling you, whoever came up with that wasted a lot of money, and I guess we got to live with it now, but man, they could have just left it alone. Anyhow, I always been thinking, this Ron DeSantis, he's got to be saying to himself, man, I made a mistake. I'm opiate. It was kind of like him getting in the ring with a young Mike Tyson. He's all beat up. There's no way this guy's ever going to come back. It's nice that he fired that prosecutor, but that's not going to help him. He's done.
Well, you know, one of the things you look for in a president, there's a lot of things in presidents that are important, but a couple of the really, well, who's that talking in the background, Doug? I heard a lady's voice.
And that mine.
I know it wasn't yours. I heard a lady's voice. Was it the TV? Was it your wife? Are you out somewhere?
Oh, no. I thought headphones was you in the background.
No, it's not me. It wasn't me. I heard a lady. So anyway, let me get back to this. Uh-oh. Okay, I better not push that because his wife might be listening. Okay, so there's a few things you look for in a president, okay? And one of them is judgment. And everything that he has done in his decision-making, he's made the wrong choice, okay? So he's made bad decisions from the get-go, from the Twitter Spaces launch to yesterday. The other thing you look for is how they handle themselves under pressure. Like the disqualifier for Hillary Clinton was how she handled Benghazi, the one moment she was in charge of something. And that is when, and what we're seeing with DeSantis is poor judgment. We're seeing poor judgment, poor decision-making skills, and he can't handle the pressure. He cracked yesterday.
You know, and when you mentioned, why President Trump is so high, I think it's partially his prosecution, but I think there's no selection. What are you going to get? Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, he's so...
Yeah. Now, what do you think about this very long email about Richie the bus driver? I got one email about the interaction yesterday. It's very long. I mean, I don't know. Should I share this with the listeners? It's not complimentary to me.
I wouldn't bother.
Really? You wouldn't bother? You don't think Richie's worth the time? All right, appreciate it. I had to ask. Okay, so let me get to this. So Ron DeSantis, let me recap what I started with at the beginning of the last hour. And then we'll break, and then there's new things I want to bring up too. But Ron DeSantis yesterday cracked. He just cracked. He went into a panic. Two things happened. First, single digits in the polls. And then second, Lawrence Jones did something live on the air, and the two things together caused Ron DeSantis to go into a panic yesterday. He cracked and started making bad decisions. The first thing he did is he came to Florida and fired this prosecutor. Now, I'm sure she's one of these liberal Soros prosecutors and probably should not be doing that job, but he obviously came to Florida to fire her so he could look like a strong man and a leader and a governor. His team got together and said, you got to get back to what you do. This woke never die, where woke goes to die is not working. Go back to Florida and do what makes you popular. Go govern. So he came down here and acted as a good, tough guy, did what his advisors told him. Exactly. And came down here and fired her. And then he signed the loyalty pledge to the RNC, vowing that he'll vote and support Donald Trump. He signed this loyalty pledge, promising that he will support and vote for whoever the eventual Republican nominee is, which is Trump. Now, the second thing, other than the poll, that caused him to crack was this. I'll play it before we break. Lawrence Jones on Fox News yesterday did a live on-air straw poll at an event he was at in South Dakota. He's in South Dakota. There's all these conservatives out, and he starts asking them who they support for the Republican nomination. He did this live on Fox. If this was not live, and you notice, this is not something you're seeing them talk about. I went over to the Fox News website this morning, and they're talking about Ducey and his question to Biden all day and all over the place and all over their website. But this clip with Lawrence Jones has been disappeared from Fox. They're not highlighting this on their website. So Lawrence Jones did a straw poll live on the air. So just to set it up, he's in South Dakota. He's got this huge crowd of conservatives, and he asked them who they support for the Republican nominee for president.
I'm going to show of hands. When it comes to the 2024 race, who thinks that Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party? Okay? All right. How many people think Ron DeSantis is going to be the nominee? Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie. Okay?
Okay, so just the crowd, when he says Trump, they go wild. He says DeSantis, it's silence. That happened live on Fox. If that was recorded, it would not have made it to air, okay? DeSantis and his team, that in the poll caused him to do these very, very stupid things yesterday. His campaign is all but over. He signed an agreement to support, endorse, and vote for Donald Trump yesterday, Ron DeSantis. That's how much of a panic he was in. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 true oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You're going to see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day to buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurant Day. Listen up, for all the locals out there, it's time for a deal. Half price entrees? Yep, you heard me right. 50% off all dinners from 4 to 6, Wednesday through Sunday. And 20% off the whole entire menu to go, including the best thin crust pizza in town. Forget about it. Where else are you going to get
I get hungry when I hear this commercial.
linguine clam sauce, lasagna, pork chops? Nowhere. My prices are insane. Stop going to those.
Well, thanks, Lisa.
You're not going to find great food.
Trump train all the way, baby. Absolutely.
Where else are you going to go and have the owners sing for you? Come down to Uncle Eddie's.
Trump train, baby.
4050 US 1 just north of Donald Ross Road. 561-508-7799. Hurry up in.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You know, it is rainy season. It is hurricane season. And, man, it's raining heavy every afternoon, and get the winds, too. Listen, if you've got a wet spot in your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, you want to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. He's a good MAGA guy. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. And he covers the entire state of Florida, both the east and west coast of Florida, and everywhere in between. He does great work. He rebuilt Steve's house. Steve's house was on the verge of being condemned, and it's the showpiece of his neighborhood now. But, you know, those of you that are new to Florida, hurricane season is a big deal. Hurricanes are not something to have parties about. And if you've got a compromised roof, you want to call Tom Laporta. You know, in the state of Florida, we have new insurance laws that allow Tom Laporta to deal directly with your insurance company for the cost of the repair. So you might not even have to hire a public adjuster if your insurance company refuses to cover the claim. You know, when you go to an insurance adjuster, they may get you the claim. I had this happen before. It took them a year. They got me my payment from the insurance company, but I had to pay them 20%, right? So I had to come up with the other 20% for my new roof out of my own pocket. With Tom Laporta dealing directly with your insurance company, if you can bypass that public adjuster, you'll have no issues like I did. Some people even hire attorneys. Call Tom first, all right, guys? Talk to him. He works on every type of roof and every type of structure, from single-family homes and HOAs, even to municipal buildings and office buildings and churches and everything else. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602, and online at laportacontracting.com. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, Brian, I saw the interview last night with Trump on the Balance Show on Newsmax.
Eric Bolling, yeah.
So I thought it was sensational. I thought Trump was at his best. He's on target. The gloves are off. He counterpunches.
You know, let me tell you, that was one of the best interviews with Donald Trump in a long time, and I'll tell you why. Eric Bolling let him talk.
Yes. And when they let him talk, it's really, a lot of information comes out, and it's just really well done. I would urge everybody, if they didn't see the interview, to watch it today. It's that good. And when you're seeing all this junk coming out of this White House, it gives you a boost, because right now we're kind of in a downtime with all this stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's as good as I've seen Trump. He's sensational.
Yeah, he asked great questions, Eric Bolling. And they were relevant questions. You know, a Trump interview is a hard interview to do because he's done so many interviews. How do you ask him something that he's not answered 1,000 times before, right? It's not an easy interview to do. So when someone does an interview like Eric Bolling did of President Trump last night, and you're hanging on the every second of it, that it was, you know, that was what happens a lot of times with people that interview Trump. They want to impress him. So Hannity's the worst at this. So they keep saying things that he think he'll like, you know, the Soros prosecutor, or that they keep saying things, Russia, to try to impress Trump, and they don't let him talk.
I think Trump's going to do a lot of interviews with Bollinger because, like you said, he lets him talk, and that really makes for a great interview. Sean's kind of not quite.
And then, even though that everyone does not have Newsmax, which is unfortunate, I love Newsmax TV. Those clips from the Eric Bolling interview with Trump last night are circulating all over the web.
Very good, very good. The whole interview was just really, it really was, I mean, it gives you a tremendous boost just having that.
Do you think Lawrence Jones got into some hot water doing that live straw poll between Trump and DeSantis on Fox?
Oh, I didn't see anything about that yet.
Oh, you didn't hear you just tuned in. You didn't hear no, shame on you. Shame on you. Okay, that's okay. You know, this show starts at 6 a.m., you know. Set your alarm early.
I know it does. A shout out to Mike Lindell. He's a tremendous marketer, and he's a warrior, too. And you're dead right about that Glades thing on 95.
Oh!
People be very careful there. Very careful, because all of a sudden you can find yourself in a bad...
You know, when my daughter was visiting, she went out to lunch with my mother. And I told her, I said, they were going in Boca. I said, avoid that. Don't drive over that. It was on a weekend. And I said, avoid it. Go to Yamato, go to Palmetto. Do not drive over that bridge on Glades Road. And, of course, what did my daughter do? She drove over it. And she called me and said, Dad, I should have listened to you. That was the most confusing piece of road. And, and imagine what it's like for an 88-year-old that shouldn't even be driving anymore.
Well, the only reason I lucked out on it is that I was going left because I was going to the movie theater. I don't know what I'd do if I was going right over there. But you can find yourself in a world of trouble if you're not, if you're not a really good.
Whoever, let me tell you, and the reason I bring this up on the air is because I know we have people in the city of Boca that are listening. That road will get people killed. That road on 95, people are going to die because of the construction of the lanes. Driving on the left side of the road, this is not England. This is not Japan. We drive on the right. And half the drivers, and it's by the mall where all the old people are going. You know?
I know. Very easy to have a multi-car accident there. People, please be careful when you're driving.
All right.
That's a very good public service announcement you made about that.
All right, take care, take care. I know it seems stupid talking about, the roads, but no, if you saw this road, that engineer's a serial killer in the making. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Doing all right. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Eddie, calling from Virginia.
Hey, Eddie. Oh, everything's great.
Great. Yeah, I wanted to touch on the campaign ad, the Trump campaign ad that you played earlier in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a great ad for sure. It reminded me of, I don't know if you've seen the movie with Harrison Ford, Fugitive. So,
of course, everybody's seen that. Yeah.
Right. Where he was accused of this. He was innocent, obviously, and he just never stopped fighting. And in the movie, his friends were talking to the cops, and they said, "This guy is a fighter. He's never going to stop until he gets exactly what he wants, and he's going to prove himself innocent." And that's what happened in the end. So when you played that clip, that's what came to my head as Trump is a fighter. He's never going to stop fighting.
Yeah.
To point that out.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, take care. That's a great movie, by the way. Harrison Ford, The Fugitive. It's not that old. The 90s aren't that long ago. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay, do you want me to read the email? I read the email to you guys, okay? So I'll read the email to you guys first. This is the email that someone wrote to me about Richie's interaction and my reaction to Richie yesterday. Okay? Subject, Richie the bus driver. Okay? And this is a long email. I've been listening to the Steve Kane Show for well over 50 years. So he's been listening to the show longer than it's existed. Remember, the show's only 46 years old, not 50. I've been listening to the Steve Kane Show well over 50 years. And ever since you first came on the show, I love you both. I love the show, and I love President Donald Trump. I tried calling in all day today, but to no avail. My issue is with how you terribly treated Richie the bus driver today. Totally unjustified, with exclamation marks after that. He is by far your best, most interesting, funniest, highly informed caller. More exclamation marks. Barbara from Baltimore is next. You treated Richie like a piece of crap just because he was letting you know about something he didn't want to talk about, which is equally as important as the topic you were discussing. I was pissed off at the way you treated him. More exclamation marks. Other callers broke topic, and they were allowed to continue, but not Richie, with 3 question marks. Great callers like Richie the bus driver are a large part of why us listeners, listen to your show faithfully each and every day. Thus, we use your sponsors, etc. Don't take it from me. Ask the callers tomorrow what they think about Richie the bus driver's calls. Maybe I'm wrong, but I bet the callers will agree with me. Thank you. Nick in Coral Springs. Now, do you think that was Richie, or did Richie dictate that to his friend? What do you think? And this is the only message I got about the call yesterday. I didn't get any DMs or any other emails, just this one. And it's one of the longest emails I've ever gotten. And notice how they also want me to turn the whole show into a discussion of Richie, right? They want me to read the email and then open up the phones and have callers call in and talk about Richie. Who else would do that? I don't know. Let me know, yes or no, do you think Richie the bus driver wrote or dictated that? Pretty. Oh, okay. I know I got pissed off. It's okay. I'm a human. I'm not a Vulcan, I mean, what happened is, I spend hours every morning before the show doing show prep. And I had this, I thought, incredible breaking news yesterday. And I had some great calls on it, and I'm going through it and all this stuff. And then what Richie said that pissed me off, it wasn't the topic, okay, that he brought up. It was that he says, well, that's interesting, but what I've got is better, and this is what you should be talking about. That's why I blew my stack. I thought that was very rude. Exactly. I'm nice to everybody, even people I shouldn't be. No, you didn't get mentioned. Whatever, Exactly, let it go. Maybe I overreacted, maybe I didn't. That's okay. Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, let it go. Yeah, I got no problems with Richie. People get in arguments. Happens all the time. Mm-hmm. Really, Lisa? Wow. Well, Richie does not like other callers. He doesn't like other callers. But there's too many tells in there that tells me that either came from Richie, he dictated it, or came from his buddy. That wasn't just a random listener. Not with that much thought. And then wanted me to dedicate the whole show today to taking calls on Richie. Come on. All right. Calls on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, our number one 888-GO, Kane 1. Not a good day for Ron DeSantis. Oh, man. He's going to hang in there a couple weeks until the debate. The debate's in 2 weeks, right? It's on the 24th, right? And today's the 10th. So he's got 2 weeks. And this is a rough couple of weeks for DeSantis. It's not going well for him. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Louise, the mask lady.
Oh, hey. How you doing?
Oh, okay. Glades Road, a horror. Boca Regional Hospital, even worse. I was in tears, had to go for a test, but I wanted to hear the exchange with Richie. I missed it yesterday.
Oh, well, that's you know, go to trueoldiesfla.com. No, I'm not going to play it again. Are you kidding?
No, you said
The email? I don't know if I'm going to read the email on the air. I don't know. But if you missed the exchange yesterday, go to trueoldiesfla.com. It's up there.
Must have stepped out of the house for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
I missed it. Now I'm curious.
Well, you know, that's what happens. If you miss a moment of this show, you think, you know, I've been listening.
I like Richie.
I like Richie, too.
Well, I'm disappointed if you don't let us know what it is.
Well, if you wouldn't have walked away from your radio yesterday, you would have known. How shame on you. All right, mask lady, take care. All right, so in his panic yesterday, Ron DeSantis, you know, as I said, he did several stupid things yesterday. And one of them was signing the pledge that he will support whoever the Republican nominee is, which means Ron DeSantis yesterday pledged, he signed a pledge to the RNC that he'll vote in support for Donald Trump. So the great Donald Trump, who has not signed the pledge, they're begging him to do the debate. Now, they told DeSantis, to qualify for the debate, you got to promise, you got to sign this pledge to support Trump. So he did it, very weak. Trump hasn't signed anything, and they're still begging him to do the debate. So Eric Bolling, in a great interview just a beautiful interviewed President Trump. And this is President Trump's talking about the pledge that the RNC are making everyone sign. Listen.
reason I wouldn't sign the pledge. Why would I sign a pledge? There's people on there that I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have certain people as, you know, somebody that I'd endorse. So they want you to sign a pledge. But I can name 3 or 4 people that I wouldn't support for president. So right there's a problem, okay? Right there's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So he says he will not sign the pledge. That's a condition to be in the debate. But they're still begging him to do the debate, even though he has not signed the pledge and says he won't. See, this is what you want in a president. This is why President Trump is a winner. Have these people read Art of the Deal? I might get Art of the Deal on audiobook and just listen to it every time I'm driving somewhere. Or doing work around the house or something. One of the things when Donald Trump is done with his second term and he writes his book on his 2-term presidency, it should be called The Art of the Political Deal. Okay? If you read The Art of the Deal, the reason he does so well in his deal making is because he never bends. He never gives in. And this thing here where he says, I'm not going to sign that. There's a lot of people I wouldn't support for president. It's how he beat. Like the story he tells about how the French wouldn't give him what he wanted. I can't remember what it was. And he says, well, if you don't do it tomorrow, I'm going to sign an executive order for, what was it, a 50% tax on champagne? And boom, they caved. He's done this many times. Like when he called the guy, the head of ISIS, and showed him the picture of his house. Remember all that? He doesn't bend. He doesn't fold. That's why he is a great president, a great businessman, is an incredible success. And what happened with DeSantis yesterday? He caved to Ronna McDaniel. Here he is. He lost to Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse with Disney. He caved to Ronna McDaniel. How's he going to take on North Korea? How's he going to I love how he talks about standing up to Fauci. I don't remember that so much. I know he says a lot now, but I don't remember it so much then. If he can't stand up to Ronna McDaniel and say, I won't go, how's he going to stand up to China? So let me play. This is Eric Bolling last night on Newsmax interviewing President Trump, talking about the Fox News debate.
It's open up so many avenues right now, but just to clean up, tie up the Fox debate, you said you'll decide next week. What is there?
I'll be announcing. Yeah, I've already decided, and I'll be announcing something next week.
I noticed the Fox senior executives came and had dinner with you and pitched you. Did they move the needle?
Well, they were very nice. Look, they were very nice.
Here's why, Mr. President. The only reason I say this, I put a poll up on Twitter. At least 2/3 of the people don't want you to do the debate because they feel it could be a setup. Are you concerned about Fox setting
Well,
up?
when you're at 75, 78, 80%, and other guys are at 0, 1%, 2%, 3%, you do say, what's the upside? Am I going to go up 1 point? But they could go up. You know, they're not dumb people. They're senators. They're governors, they're intelligent people. You have some very good people. I think you have some very good people, and you have some people. I mean, I have a problem with the debate for another reason. I wouldn't sign the pledge. Why would I sign a pledge? There are people on there that I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have certain people as, you know, somebody that I'd endorse. So they want you to sign a pledge. But I can name 3 or 4 people that I wouldn't support for president. So right there's a problem, okay? Right there's a problem.
Can I ask
I don't
you
have
that?
to use that.
Wait, no,
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There's no reason to insult them. But there are some people there that a lot of people wouldn't endorse, but they wouldn't be right. They're not going to go anywhere, by the way. They're not going to get it. But I
So
would
the RNC said that's one of the requirements for, so you won't sign it.
Well, they have 3 or 4 people that I wouldn't, you know, who would put these people as president? If you ever put these people as president, but you get somebody else, there'll be somebody. But right now, I saw Kristi Noem, who's terrific. She's done a fantastic job. I watched her this morning. She was on television. They asked her, are you going to run? Because there are other people running. Are you going to run? She said, no. Why aren't you going to run? Because nobody can beat Trump. She said it, which I greatly respect. I mean, she's saying, I hope the truth. She said, why would I run? Nobody's going to beat Trump. There's not even a contest. These people are just wasting their time. Somebody like Asa Hutchinson, who's polling at 0, will ask me nasty questions. Somebody like Chris Christie is polling at 1%, and he's going to ask me nasty questions, and others too. And then you have some that are very good. I mean, Tim Scott has been very nice, and Ramaswamy has been very, very nice. I mean, these are, you know, very capable people, very good people. But why would you do that when you're leading by so much? Ronald Reagan didn't do it. Nixon didn't do it. Many people didn't do it. And but I'm going to look at it very seriously. I'd like to do it. I've actually gotten very good marks on debating talents, but you want to be, you know, they want a smart president. They want somebody that's going to be smart. So we have to do the smart thing.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so the smart thing, and that's not do the. And he said, "What's the gain? These people at 0 and 1 or 2% are going to get to ask him nasty questions." He, you know, I was talking with Steve about this a couple days ago. President Trump may have broken a polling record. He may be higher in the polls than anyone has been in the Republican primary ever with a crowded field, okay? It's possible. You know, he's so high in the polls, statistically, it may not be possible for him to go higher, right? I mean, when you're in the polls in a field like this, and you're like at 70% in some polls and higher, how much higher can you really go? Because there's always going to be someone out there that doesn't like you, right? Getting 100% is not possible. So what he said to Eric Bolling is spot on. What is there to gain? Gaining a point, maybe? These people got nothing to lose. These are losers. They've got nothing to lose, only to gain. Why put yourself in that situation? And it's not just these jerks he's got to debate that are running. It's Martha McCallum and Brett Baer, who are never Trumpers. They hate him. They hate him. So he's got these candidates, and he's got the moderators. Now, I hope he doesn't do it. I really do. I don't want him to do it, and I know I'm not alone in that. All right, listen. Our number's 1-888-GO-CANE 1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're calling from. I got a lot more to get into as the show goes on. I mean, the show has been flying by, and we've covered so many great things, but I've got more that I have not even touched on yet that we're going to get to after the next break. And I will also play again the new Trump ad coming up, because the new Trump ad is an amazing ad. It's one of the best ads that I've seen, and it's historic in that it touches on things that no one else would ever do. And this weekend is going to be a big weekend for Trump. This Iowa State fair that Trump is about to take over, we'll talk about this when we get back, is going to be just historic and momentous. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on the...
All right, and I'm going to have to change my introduction to Attorney Barry Siegel to author and attorney Barry Siegel, who has a new book out. I just got a copy of your book yesterday, Attorney Barry Siegel. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today, Brian?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Well, thank you for the introduction. What I wanted to talk about today is the fact that sometimes people come in with when they come in to do their estate planning, they come in with a preconceived idea of what it is that they should have. We often we'll get people coming in saying they want to get a trust, and it might be a young couple, maybe they haven't really made any money yet, maybe they have a young child, maybe all they really need is a will-based plan, but because maybe their parents or grandparents have a trust, they think, oh, I need to have a trust. And, so what we want to do is when they come in, when we consult with them, go over everything, go over their estate, go over their family situation and their goals, and then really determine what's right. And so if the will is the right thing, that's what we would recommend. On the flip side of that is sometimes people come in saying, I want a will. And maybe that's the right thing, maybe it's not, but we'll do the same thing, the same analysis, and then a lot of times people come in saying, I want a will, but then on the questionnaire, they'll check off that they want to avoid probate, they want to make sure they're cared for if disabled, avoid guardianship, they want to leave their assets in the family bloodline. Those are all characteristics of trust planning. So, what we're really doing is doing an analysis to see what the person really needs and then making a recommendation for what's right for them at that point. So, that's one of the things that we do when we do our free consultation.
Yeah, absolutely. And, really, people, leave it up to the professionals at the Siegel Law Group. I mean, they've dealt with every kind of situation that you can imagine. And, I think people say will because I think a lot of times, Barry, that people think that trusts are for wealthy people. And they can't, of course, wealthy people all have them. But I think trust help middle-class people more than wealthy people is because the middle-class people have less money to pay lawyers through probate. So it's not something just for wealthy people. It's something for everyone that wants to save money, possibly. Talk to Barry and his team at the Siegel Law Group, and they'll explain to you. Now, listen, it is a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, you can find him online at siegellawgroup.com or call toll-free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. Have a great
Okay, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Indeed it is. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is me, Richie.
Oh, hey, Richie.
Yeah, how you doing? Hey, listen, man. First of all, this debate that's coming up with these nobodies that are running, the biggest effect it's having is not, they don't have a chance in the world, but the RNC is pissing away money on these nothing candidates that haven't got a chance of winning the nomination. The RNC shouldn't be holding any debates. They should be taking that money for the presidential race instead of pissing it away on this crap. Because they don't have a chance.
Well, when you've got a candidate that's at the numbers of Trump, the RNC should make the executive decision with their national committee and say, this is a waste of not just money, but effort, and we're jeopardizing taking the White House back, and get behind Trump. That's it. But they won't do it.
150%. And your donors, the big donors. See, Trump is making his money off the small donors.
The big donors are going to the globalists, all these know-nothing candidates. I mean, the other day they promoted Juncker again, some Hungarian big money guy. So the bottom line is he needs this money to run in the general election. And they're sabotaging him by doing this, and it's just disgusting. Every one of these candidates should drop out immediately. I don't care who they are.
Absolutely. And they should be told by the they should be told. Think about it. Chris Christie is 1 point ahead of you and me. Think about that. I mean, and look how much time he gets on TV and everything.
Because he's attacking Trump.
That's right.
Deranged. They are totally deranged. And at this point, DeSantis ought to just pick it up and look at it and say, you know, I fought the fight, I failed.
This is what happened to DeSantis, and I've seen this happen with guys and other. I'm sure most guys have seen this. His wife got to him, you know, a lot. When it comes, listen, when it comes to business, a lot of wives who never work in that business or industry, they start whispering in their husband's ears and cause all kinds of trouble in business. I've seen this happen so many times. I love wives. I have a wife, and my wife gives me great advice and helps me with everything I do. But what happens a lot of times when you have a weakling like Ron DeSantis, and he's got a very butch wife, she got him to do something and convinced him of things that just weren't true. And she and he have destroyed their entire political future. I still say their marriage will end in divorce because he's unelectable forever.
It's not just her, it's the donors that dump the money on him because they hate Trump. I mean, we're in a battle against globalists here. And you got it right. You got it in the Republican Party. I remember Romney. Do you remember when Romney was running for president? He ran up to Trump Tower begging Trump for endorsement. Mm-hmm. Romney looked like a little man. Trump looked like the big man.
That's right.
He's begging him. And the bottom line is Trump is the big man. And all these little guys sort of say, hey, enough is enough. I'm out. We ought to get all behind him and let's go. Because the base is behind him. What's wrong with these people that brain?
That's right. Well, I could not agree with you more, Rich. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. So Jack Smith, this weirdo. I mean, is he not a weird guy, Jack Smith? It's just a strange guy. So now we find out this story, they're always running a racket. They're always got a scheme, right? Special counsel Jack Smith obtained a secret search warrant for Trump's Twitter account, Real Donald Trump, according to newly released unsealed court filings. Okay, I'll get into more details on this. Now, this is an interesting thing here, okay? You know what that was about? Why do you think they went after his Twitter? Because I know on the face of it, you might say, well, his tweets are all online. Why do they need the Twitter account? Everything he's tweeted is on Twitter, right? Well, it's simple. They wanted his DMs. They wanted his DMs. So they did it because they got nothing on him. They got no evidence. This is a desperate move. They got no evidence against him on any of these charges that they're alleging. And DMs, if those of you that don't, like the mask lady that don't do the internet, DM is a direct message, and it's like an email, except it's done through, the social media platform. And they told themselves, well, we got nothing. What are we going to do? Well, he was always on the Twitter. He was obsessed with the Twitter, the mean tweets. I bet you we got some DMs. Now, there's a rule of thumb that some friends of mine make fun of. I put nothing in writing. And if you text message me, no matter how good of friends we are, or even in my family, my responses are 1 to 2 words in 99% of the text messages. I put nothing in writing. I don't know where I picked that up, but I did. And it's not that I'm texting or writing things that are bad, but when things are in writing, you lose context of what the person's saying. You understand what I mean? And the context can be changed just based on how things are written. Or who's reading it, okay? Like I remember when Ice-T, was it Ice Cube or Ice-T? Which Ice had the Cop Killer song back in the 90s? I think it was Ice-T. Charlton Heston was the president of the NRA. He printed up the lyrics to Ice-T's Cop Killer and went to the board of directors of the record company that he had his contract with and read them to them with Charlton Heston's incredible powers of voice. Could you imagine? I'd love to have seen that. That must have been, it probably made the song sound beautiful, read by Charlton Heston. And, I think I know where I got this from, actually, now that I think about it. Bob Grant, one of the legends of radio, one of the greatest radio personalities in history, not as famous as others, but one of the greatest. He, when he was at ABC, they had some transcripts of him that were being read, and of jokes that he made, and they were being read by people to make them sound. But anyway, I've heard President Trump also say he puts nothing in writing, right? Don't put anything in writing you wouldn't say out loud. So anyway, Jack Smith went through Trump's DMs, because he figured, we're going to get him. We're going to get him. And they got nothing. You know why I know they got nothing in the DMs? Because they would get leaked out, and that would be part of everything they were saying publicly and in the charges. They've got nothing. They've got nothing in these court cases. And I think they thought that the court cases would do two things. One, get us to drop him, and he would make a plea deal. He's stronger, and no deal. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Patty from New Jersey here.
Hey, Patty, what's up?
I want to make one point here. Jack Smith is unbelievable. What they did to Twitter, they fined them $350,000 because they made legal objections to releasing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I read through the document last night, and in there it says right out that Elon Musk paid $48 billion for it. He can afford this kind of a fine. Because they were like, this is outlandish, this is...
Well, yeah, Elon Musk failed. They failed to honor the search warrant and give them the DMs. They fined him, what was it, $350,000? $350,000. Mm-hmm.
This is the point I want to make, Brian. They're out there trying to get rid of no bail because they're like, oh, it's not just. Poor people can't afford to pay it. Rich people have an advantage. Well, now they're taking advantage of the rich people, and just because he's got the money, they said in the one line that if he had held out for 1 month, it would have encompassed the economies for the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
The fine, because it started out at $50,000 a day, and it was going to double. So it was $50,000 today, $100,000, $200,000. Then it would have gone to $300,000. It would have kept doubling.
And we know, and we know they found nothing in the DMs, or we would know all about it. It's just like when Letitia James got his income taxes that they were white, and they never found anything in those either because nothing leaked out. And what you have is a man that they're searching for a crime with, as opposed to a crime they're investigating and tying it to somebody. That was phishing.
Exactly. But that's the point I want to make is, here they're out there, treating all these criminals, saying, oh, you can, we're going to release you with no bail because, it's not just to go and, charge these people the same bail as they're charging somebody who can afford to get out, but yet they're taking advantage of Elon Musk because he made legal objections.
Well, I have one worry about Elon Musk. This cage match that he's doing with, who's that weirdo at Facebook? Looks like an alien? Zuckerberg. Okay, Elon Musk has challenged Zuckerberg to a cage match, and it's like a real thing. I mean, Zuckerberg said okay to it, and Zuckerberg, who looks like an alien, he takes all kinds of martial arts training and all this stuff, and I like Elon Musk, and I don't want to see him embarrassed and get whooped by Zuckerberg, who knows what Zuckerberg's doing to prepare for it. And Elon Musk, unless he's hiding something, looks like he's training by eating hamburgers all day. So it just, I like Elon.
I do too, and you know what? I think he's standing up for the right thing, and you know what? He reminds me a little bit of Trump. Don't underestimate him.
I would like to. I'll be rooting for Elon Musk in that cage match, but it's an unknown. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. You know, there was a, Steve set up a boxing match between two gay radio personalities. Did any of you remember this? The Sacco at Crocco's? I won't get into that right now, but the outcome was much different than was expected. I don't, you know. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing, Brian? This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria. How you been?
Oh, I've been okay. Just dealing with some health issues.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. I just had a treatment done. Oh, I did go to the doctor that you gave me the number. I did went to him, and I'm currently seeing him now.
Great.
Better.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's getting better. Oh yeah. But I called to say I know I haven't called in a while because I've been so disturbed and so upset that President Trump got to go through this. But this guy Jack Smith, oh my God, what a rat! This guy is so bad. I mean, I can't even believe this man will go and get a judge to fine Twitter all this money to get what, his DM? What the world is going on?
And they found nothing. They found nothing in his DM because they got no evidence on him, so they're fishing for evidence. They're like, there must be evidence here somewhere, and they can't find any evidence because he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't commit any crimes.
Exactly. They searching. They want the man. They want to charge the man anything they can to try to put him away so he won't run after.
Yep. Hey, listen, I got to run, Maria, because I'm late for the top of the hour break. But thanks for the call. I'm glad you're doing better. All right, we'll be right back.
WNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.
Who do you think's going to win that match? Zuckerberg or Elon Musk? I just have a feeling that Elon Musk is a well-trained fighter. Yes. Yeah. I think Elon Musk, I just got a text from somebody. They said, yeah, because he posts pictures of himself, Elon, eating hamburgers and chocolate milkshakes. So he's setting Zuckerberg up. It's like he's like his own ringer.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic.
All right, where are we?
By the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Oh, great calls today, by the way, guys. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please click the like button. There's over 1,300 in the live stream right now, and only a few of you have liked the video. So make sure you like the video, guys. That helps spread the channel to people that have not yet found me. All right, where are we going next?
Del Mar, and more. Visit our incredible Paddock restaurant with over 180 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional eats, wine, and full bar. The Paddock is also your best bet for special events, comedy, music, and dinner shows. For a full schedule of upcoming shows, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your true oldies ABC News update.
ABC News.
Oh.
I'm Tom Rivers. There's been a significant rise in the death toll from the wildfires burning across the Hawaiian island of Maui.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You'll love it here, I promise.
Probably around 36 as of now. Maui Mayor Richard Bisson talking with ABC News affiliate station KITV. Historic town of Lahaina, the capital when Hawaii was a kingdom, is no more. Claire Kent escaped with her life.
There's like explosions and just black smoke everywhere, and I mean you're
Nanu, right?
dust. And the wind on top of all of that
Mork
was
and
so
Mindy.
crazy that at any point in time you were dodging branches and just things flying through the air, and then there's a whole wall of black smoke behind us.
The traveling White House issued a statement
Homeless people living in the Everglades? Oh, that's not smart. The gators and pythons out there, it's dangerous.
Thanks, sweetheart. I got you this. A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell
Mm-hmm.
camera. Wish we had it for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050
I think I...
will get a free doorbell camera.
Steve, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, Steve, I was just texting you. I didn't know if you were ready.
I'm not coming. No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now.
So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
Join the True Oldies team this Tuesday from noon to 2 p.m. at Pure Wellness Medical, 9033 Glades Road, Suite 900B in Boca. Enjoy 50% off select procedures as well as free cruises, hormone replacement, weight management, dermal fillers, hydrofacials, pure PRP facials, and facelifts, and so much more. And yeah, we're giving away free cruises for two. See you Tuesday from 9 to 2 p.m. at Pure Wellness Medical in Boca, 9033 Glades Road, Suite 900B.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Royal.
Hey, Renee, what's up?
Nothing much. I wanted to give a shout out to Jay from Jersey, and I just wanted to spread the good news about the boat brawl that happened in Montgomery, Alabama, where these friend of yours decided to attack a dock worker who was trying to move forward, and they ganged up on him, and the residents of the neighborhood all got together and beat the crap out of those racists. So I thought
What makes you say they're racist?
Because that's the reason they attacked him.
Really? Well, I didn't hear that. What racial motivated thing made him attack? I'm just not up to date on the story. Tell me what happened. I'm vaguely familiar with it, but I don't know exactly what happened.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to...
No. Before you get to the other thing, I want to learn about this thing in Alabama. I'm not joking. I mean, I've seen the story referenced, but I just haven't read the story. What happened? Why you say it was a bunch of white racists?
Put a boat in the river that was not supposed to be there, and the guy who was doing his job was telling them to move it. They didn't want to hear it. They're like, "Who's this black guy telling us anything?" So they decided to beat him up, and the people in the neighborhood said, "Hey, no, I don't think so. This is a new year."
But where's the part about the racial stuff?
They wouldn't have done that if that was a white guy.
Really? White guys are never assaulted, attacked, or anything?
Not in that capacity, not in that context.
You know, I was almost about years ago. It's long enough I can talk about it. I was almost killed once by someone who was white. And I'm white. I mean, white people do commit crimes against other whites. Probably deserved to be almost killed. Yeah. I pulled up a story on it. Let's go from CNN. So this is like a liberal source. I really don't know. I'm not making fun of you. I know you think I'm setting you up. I know nothing about the story. I'm just going to read. Well, there's a lot of stories out there, and I'm more concerned about, the United States. But
Was arrested in 1927 at a Klan rally. He just
oh, really?
Yeah, and it was in Washington Post.
I tell you what, you send me the arrest report for Donald Trump's father, and I'll read it on the air, okay? No. You said Donald Trump's father was arrested at a Klan rally. You send me the police report. I'll read it on the air, and I'll do even better. You send me the police report of Donald Trump's father being arrested at a Klan rally for being a Klansman. I'll even make a YouTube video about it. Okay, I've got the story here. This is CNN. Authorities have issued arrest warrants after a chaotic brawl broke out Saturday on a popular riverfront dock in Montgomery, Alabama, with punches thrown, people hit with chairs, and at least one person tossed into the water. The melee began when a black man, who a witness described to CNN as an employee, engaged with a group of white men on the dock, according to footage of the incident. A shirtless white man then charged and shoved the employee, and others pushed the worker to the ground and started punching him. The fight escalated further when other groups entered the fray, and after a short break in the action, a second round of punches and attacks occurred, footage say. Montgomery police said they were called to the scene, found a large group of subjects engaged in a physical altercation. Several people were detained, charges are pending, blah, blah, blah. The fight largely broke down racial lines in a city with a history of racial animus. The first black mayor of the city, Reed, at the center of the civil rights movement, said the incident was still under investigation. Okay, where's the racial part? I don't understand. Where was the part that it was racist?
Dude, that neighborhood, first of all, was a slave dock. Okay?
Yeah, when? Slave dock. Sure, every dock in the South was a slave dock that the Democrats used to run. Listen. Every confrontation or incident between white and black people is not racial, okay? Our country is so, yeah, that's right. Like, for example, right, if I'll use my daughter and me for as a thing. Yes, she is my daughter. That makes her my, listen, I know you want me to hang up on you, and you're doing desperate things to make it happen. Don't worry. Eventually, I'll end the call, but not until I'm done. So if my daughter and I get into, an argument about something, I want her to do something, she doesn't do it, and we're arguing, that's not racial. She's black, I'm white, that's not racial. Not every confrontation between someone who's white and black is racial. You understand that? Or does that not make sense to you? See, you see everything like Spike Lee through a prism of racism. Okay, everything is. It's like I can't. What was the name? This is a great example of this. What was the name of Jerry Seinfeld's uncle on Seinfeld, who said everything was anti-Semitic? If he had to wait in line 5 minutes, they're anti-Semitic at this restaurant. It's just, and it was. That's how you are. Not every, we're a completely integrated society and multiracial and cultural, and people are going to get into arguments out and about. Anyway, what was your thing on Trump?
His father was in the Klan. 1927, Washington Post, look it up.
No, I'm not going to look it up. You get it to me. You give me proof. First off, I don't even know why that is relevant. Do we hold... none of what you said is true, by the way. I'm sure the Washington Post has reported lies. His father was not in the Klan, or his grandfather was not in the Klan. But regardless of that, are we holding people accountable for what their parents have done and grandparents now? Is that where we are? Well, hold on. No. Hold on a second. Are people responsible for what their fathers and grandfathers have done? In every instance.
In the Bible, that's exactly the way
in America, is every man in America responsible for what their father and grandfathers have done in the past?
You will be, yes.
What do you mean you will be? Should they be? Do you...
When this system drops, believe me,
Mm.
you are going to suffer.
Okay. All right. Now, on that note, we're going to end the call for two reasons. He's going over the line, and I'm going to save him from himself with what he was just saying, because he was desperate to get hung up on. And second, it's time for a break. That's a real sad person right there. That is the equivalent of that is a 100% black racist I was just talking to. You hear that? That's like talking to a black Klansman. When you talk to someone that's a real racist, that's how they talk. You hear the ugliness, the darkness inside, and his tone. Oh my goodness. We'll be right back.
Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurante. Listen up, for all the locals out there, it's time for a deal. Half-price entrees? Yep, you heard me right. 50% off all dinners from 4 to 6, Wednesday through Sunday. And 20% off the whole entire menu to go, including the best thin crust pizza in town. Forget about it. Where else are you going to get delicious beef braciole, linguine clam sauce, lasagna, pork chops? Nowhere. My prices are insane. Stop going to those fugazi joints. You're not going to find great food and entertainment like at Uncle Eddie's. Where else are you going to go and have the owners sing for you? Come down to Uncle Eddie's, 4050 US 1, just north of Donald Ross Road. 561-508-7799. Hurry up in.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. If you have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next.
I'm going to
75
recap
years.
the DeSantis stuff when we get back, because
At
it's too
Lighthouse
good.
Medical Center, we have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house in South Florida and want to sell it fast for a great price, call me at 561-570-7070. I can pay cash and close in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. I can even pay you a cash advance before the closing. I'm a local cash buyer and I'm looking to purchase more houses.
Well, thank you.
I buy all
Thank you,
types of
Jana.
properties
Appreciate it.
in any condition, any price range, and any situation. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I will even buy foreclosures and haunted houses. Woo! Do you own a vacant house or one that is trashed and needs thousands in repairs? Great. I love buying fixer-uppers. Regardless of your situation, I understand that life happens, and I'm here to help you. If you own a home and want to sell it fast and easy, I'll buy it. Call me at 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited, but the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of celebrity cruises. We're going to
Hey guys, in the chat, let me know what device you watch on YouTube on. Phone, iPad, computer, TV. I'm curious.
Night, private cocktail parties. We'll go to Broadway shows together and dance till the clubs close.
Well, thank you,
every
Deborah.
night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561
Phone, computer, laptop, PC, TV and computer, Chromebook, phone and TV, mostly phones.
With Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Trump has a new ad. I played it in the first. I want to play it again in a moment, and it is a great ad, I'm here to tell you. But first, I want to tell you about the Slomin's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer, which is back. That's right, you can get a free doorbell camera if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. If you're one of the first 40 listeners who call that number, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone. Slomin's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You'll get an LED touchscreen pad, 3 arm doors, a backup battery, and a motion detector. And if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin Shield. So call them. This is a limited time offer. I have this camera. You will love it. It will change your life. It not only make you safer and secure and keep you and your family safe and secure, it's convenient because anytime we have DoorDash or Amazon or Instacart, you know, we get the notification there's someone there. We can see them, leave everything at the doorstep. It's great. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. All right. So a lot has been going on with our great President Donald Trump. But first I want to play his new ad. This is his newest ad, and this is a historic presidential ad. This is an official Donald Trump ad. This isn't a PAC or some other organization. This is an official ad from Donald Trump that has his approval at the end of it. And now keep in mind, he has 3 indictments and the 4th is coming, right? Florida, New York, D.C., and Atlanta. And this ad is an ad like no one has ever done before. In fact, when it comes to ads that a presidential candidate have put out on their own, like directly from the candidate themselves, this is probably the best campaign ad, the most courageous campaign ad in history. There's never been an ad like this. All right, so here it is. This is President Trump's latest ad, and it's brilliant.
How far will the most corrupt president in history go to keep Republicans from winning back the White House? Meet the cast of unscrupulous accomplices he's assembled to get Trump. Alvin Bragg, the radical liberal New York prosecutor who refuses to prosecute violent criminals. Jack Smith, who's made a career persecuting innocent Republican officials. Letitia James, the socialist who ran on the promise, I'll go after Trump. And Biden's newest lackey, Atlanta DA, Fani Willis, so incompetent, on her watch violent crimes had exploded. So tainted, Willis was thrown off one case for trying to prosecute a political opponent. So corrupt, Willis got caught hiding a relationship with a gang member she was prosecuting. So dishonest, Willis was accused of creating a fake subpoena. Welcome to the fraud squad. I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Oh, man. I mean, you know, when I was talking about this earlier, this ad, I thought her name was Fani Willis. It's Fani. Fani. The affair with the gang guy. You know, the affair with the gang member, if they start looking into that, and no one's looking into it yet. See, I was enjoying that so much. I'm not sure if I explained what I would be looking at if I were investigating that. So her jurisdiction in Atlanta, she's made gang problems like her biggest thing, right? She's cleaning up the gangs. This is what I'd like to know, right? The big level prosecutions and shutting of gangs down, did it benefit the gang that the guy she was sleeping with was a member of or a leader of? We don't know if it was a leader or the member. You understand what I mean? You know, that's right. You know, she could be helping the gang. I don't know. I'm sure Trump will let us know. I'm sure he knows already. You know who should really look into this? James O'Keefe should do an investigation on this. Did she lock up a bunch of gang members, but it helped the gang of the guy she was having the affair with? I'd like to know the answer to that. That would be amazing to find out. if she had the affair. I mean, I've never known Trump to make an accusation against an individual that was not true. Now, this commercial is an official Donald Trump commercial, and what makes it so historic is that I have never known of any defendant ever who's facing criminal prosecutions to make a commercial attacking the prosecutors like this. This has never happened before. And he did it in all 4 jurisdictions. And most of it is directed at Willis, who has not yet charged him. And you would have to either be completely, totally insane to do that, or completely innocent and confident in how it's going to turn out. But I thought that was just insane. That ad is it. Oh, hold on a second. I hit the next soundbite. We're not ready for you. Hold on a second here. Let me clear out my sound bites. We'll play that one later. So this weekend, President Trump is doing something that is going to just blow everybody away, okay? What he is doing in Iowa is really, it's like a barn-burning tour. He really is, he is the only candidate he said a couple things about Chris Christie, but those are outliers. He's directed all of his attacks towards DeSantis. And if you go back to the 2015 campaign, he always went after the front runner, and when he took them down, he went after the next front runner. And what he's doing in Iowa over the weekend is amazing. Iowa's, they got that big Iowa caucus. It's a big deal. And when they do the fair, the state fair, every election, all the candidates go to the state fair, and it's a big deal. A big deal. This is like a big event every 4 years in Iowa. Donald Trump will campaign at the Iowa State Fair this weekend, joined by 9 members of Florida's Republican congressional delegation who endorsed him rather than Ron DeSantis. And it includes Brian Mast, who's awesome, Byron Donalds, and Matt Gaetz and others. Those are the famous ones. Byron Donalds, Matt Gaetz, and Brian Mast. Okay, and I saw Brian Mast at that New Hampshire event, I think it was. Was it New Hampshire Brian Mast was at with President Trump? This is really playing with Ron DeSantis' mind. Okay? He's the sitting governor of Florida. He was reelected last year, and the 9 most high-profile Florida Republican members of Congress not only did not endorse him, they endorsed Trump, and they're doing an appearance with him. And Ron DeSantis' whole campaign is Florida this, Florida that. When you have the most famous Floridian Republicans that are loved nationwide, especially Matt Gaetz and Byron Donalds, okay? Brian Mast isn't as well known outside of Florida. And he goes out there on stage with 9 famous Florida Republicans at the same event DeSantis is at. That's got to freak him out. In fact, Matt Gaetz helped DeSantis with his debate prep before the gubernatorial campaigns, remember? So this is a DeSantis insider. In fact, I would imagine Matt Gaetz is such a DeSantis insider, he's probably a senior advisor to President Trump on this campaign to bring down Ron DeSantis. And that's a humiliation. That's a real humiliation for DeSantis to have to face. And as we saw yesterday, he cracks under pressure. And what Donald Trump is doing with these 9 Florida Republicans that endorsed him and not DeSantis going to the state fair where DeSantis is going to be is very similar to when he had all the Clinton rape accusers at that press conference right before the debate with Mrs. Clinton. Remember that? This is a similar type event. And it threw off Hillary, freaked her out. Her marriage with Bill has taken a lot of hits, but that was one of the biggest ones, other than the Lewinsky affair becoming public. Not the affair, that it was public. But this one here, this would be a hard performance for DeSantis to pull off like this. This is beautiful. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. There's more to share. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day is off to an awesome start. We're going to see another excessive heat warning area-wide, a WPBF 25 first warning weather day, with heat indices again between 110 and 115 and some isolated strong storms late. I'm WPBF 25 first warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check, brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
By southbound of Boynton Beach Boulevard, multi-vehicle crashes blocking the left lane. Further south on the Broward County I-95 and northbound of Southwest Tennessee, the multi-vehicle crash is heavy delays between local return and Greenfield right now. I-95 southbound before Atlantic Boulevard, another multi-vehicle crash has a left lane blocked. Boynton Beach Boulevard and Jog Road, a crash now cleared. And just a reminder that Clematis Street is still closed from Dixie Highway to Olive Avenue. You take Banyan Boulevard instead. This report is sponsored by Valero. Start saving on the road with Valero's 100 Days of Summer. Get fuel savings, snacks, swag, and more every day, all summer long. Only with Valero Pay Plus. Download the app to start saving right now. Additional terms.
Oh my goodness.
Let's drop the first bar.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is the county's only OTB location featuring betting action from top horse tracks including Saratoga, Del Mar, and more. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 180 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional eats, wine, and full bar. The paddock is also your best bet for special events, comedy, music, and dinner shows. For a full schedule of upcoming shows, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE, free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton. It's the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
John Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
You need to make smart tax choices as well. The IRS is waiting to collect part of that account, and you can minimize what they get, but you have to use the right strategies. To learn about these strategies, use taxes on your IRA account. Text the word taxes, 474747. So you and your family can keep as much of your IRA as possible.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older.
The View, yeah. The View is going off the air. They're going on hiatus because of the writer's strike.
Hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to
Not that anybody would notice. I just happened to see it online. I wouldn't have noticed.
Hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet them, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet them again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez. You tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Hi, it's Scott Simmons from Florida Weekly. Have you noticed how we can't get our cars washed or hire an air conditioning repair company without being asked to tip? We did, so we're taking a look at the culture of tipping. What do algae blooms on Lake Okeechobee mean for waterways across the state? We try to find out. And we check out the newly reopened double roads in Jupiter. Read these and other stories in Florida Weekly. Available throughout Palm Beach County. Available online at floridaweekly.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. I was reading this story, Fort Hood. You know, Fort Hood's no longer Fort Hood. They changed the name, you know, to all these things. It's called Fort Cavazos now, C-A-V-A-Z-O-S. Who's that? Is that like a cartel leader or something? Fort Cavazos. I don't know. But there's a real sad story there with Biden's army here, Joe Biden's army. He's the commander-in-chief. You know, this reporter that he touched on the boob yesterday from the Weather Channel, did you see that? He said there's a bug, just happens to be on your boobs. Let me flick it off of your boobs. What a creep. Now, some of this, if you go and look at the interview, all he's doing is thinking about how he's going to get his hands on her the whole interview. He's real sicko. Do you know if you or I touched a woman like he did, that's like assault. Is that an assault? I'm not sure, but there's a terrible story about Fort Hood. I'm still going to call it Fort Hood, guys. Who knows what Fort Cavazos is? The military, we've got some big problems in the military. Okay? We've got some big problems in the military. And the problems are all this wokeness that's going on in their recruitment. But listen to this. Fort Cavazos, formerly known as Fort Hood, has been struggling to put food on the tables of soldiers for the past several months. Now, this is something that's leaked out. Okay, this is something that's leaked out, and it's probably classified information that someone has leaked out. So Fort Cavazos, formerly known as Fort Hood, has been struggling to put food on the table for soldiers for the last several months. The military installation in Texas is facing a shortage of Army cooks. And you know, the Army is mostly made up of young people that are working hard all day and have a huge appetite. Hungry soldiers are being forced to drive 30 minutes each way for food. One of the Army's largest bases has been barely able to keep its food services up and running for months, according to soldiers stationed there and dining facilities scheduled that have been reviewed. The situation of Fort Cavazos, previously known as Fort Hood, has left some junior enlisted with few options for meals, as top officials on base struggle to juggle logistics while most of its cooks are on deployment missions or serving field training or at other events. I guess they got the cooks at the drag shows or something. The base had only 2 of its 10 dining options open every day. 3 options open during limited times. The closures forced many soldiers to drive long distances, sometimes on an hour-round trip for a meal. For months, one dining facility was open and was more than 30 minutes each way for the soldiers, said one non-com who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they could be court-martialed for talking about this. The U.S. military is also facing major recruiting issues. The woke U.S. military is focusing on providing transgendered surgeries and dealing with climate change amid the recruiting crisis. Yes, yes, yes. And Biden told the Weather Channel, we're preparing the military by trying to deal with all this climate stuff. Now, I know this may seem like a minor thing to a lot of people, but it's not. You know, when people are in the service, they don't really need to go on a search mission for food. They should be fed. But when you're here in the homeland, this is a base in the United States, Fort Hood's in Texas. So when they have a U.S. base here in the United States and the base is not able to provide the very basics to its service personnel, food, that's a problem nationwide. If this was Trump's military, believe me, the media would be talking about it top and bottom of every hour. But a story like this, it's sad, it's disgusting, it's outrageous, no doubt about it. But it's also frightening in that what other areas of the military are in such bad situations, right? If they don't have enough cooks, what else do they not have enough of? And I think the recruiting crisis that we've heard about because of all this wokeness is far more severe than any of us thought that it was. And, you know, we have I bet there are not any shortage of meals in Ukraine, our 51st state. You know, we have a president that is taking us to the edge of war. We're in a war, a proxy war with Russia right now in Ukraine. We've got the Chinese and the Russians off the coast of Alaska testing our defenses along Alaska. And we've got shortages like this in the service. Right now, what we're in is the most dangerous time since the Cuban Missile Crisis as far as, you know, a dangerous situation heading towards war, because everything that's coming out shows that America won't stand up to the bad guys. Our leaders are on the take. For example, look at this thing with the spy balloon months ago. So many terrible things have happened. That seems like it was 100 years ago. But the spy balloons, there was no response to that. In fact, excuses were made to the spy balloons. So we have nothing but the Chinese testing, with the Russians, testing our military, right? The spy balloons were a test. The Chinese naval operation with the Russians off the coast of Alaska was a test. And you know what? We failed every test, if you haven't noticed. And we're finding out that with all this, you know, they've got a couple problems with recruiting in the military. One, the recruiting pool is not as great as it once was because of all this wokeness that's going on with young people that are of military recruitment age, okay? And those that still want to serve their country in the military don't want to be in a barracks with a transgendered person. Or in the shower with a transgendered person and all this. You know. So they're having recruiting problems because the recruiting pool's not the size that it was. Things are too woke for the people that would join the military, volunteer and join. And we're failing these repeated tests by Russia and China around the world. Afghanistan was another failure of the test. So when I say that this is the most dangerous time since the Cuban Missile Crisis, I skipped over 9/11 because, you know, during 9/11, we had a bad guy, George Bush and Dick Cheney, two bad guys, war criminals, but America would stand up and fight back. Now we got a guy who won't stand up and fight back, and even if he wanted to, he can't because he can't provide basic meal services to the soldiers in Texas. And I have a theory as to why that is. Why do you think there's a shortage of cooks at Fort Hood in Texas? You know what my guess would be? The cooks are at the southern border cooking for the illegals at the detention centers down there. Because there's so many people, who knows how to cook meals for such large groups of people, this invading army, but military cooks. Just like the baby formula shortage that we had last year, the federal government bought up the baby formula to send it to the southern border. And that's why there was a shortage. But the cook shortage, see, the shortage isn't food at Fort Hood. They don't have enough people to cook it. I promise you, because when I saw the story in Fort Hood's in Texas is when it all rang a bell to me, They're using the military cooks at the southern border for the illegals, as opposed to our soldiers who are going hungry and having to drive and probably skipping meals because they're so tired. How can they drive an hour round trip when they're tired from working all day in the military? That's some tiring work, okay? So they're probably skipping meals. But the illegals are being taken care of. I'll throw that out to you guys. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals looking good today after yesterday's nice test of the previous bottom months ago and holding very nicely. Gold closing out today down $11.60. That's at $1,913.40 level. Silver closed down 11 cents at $22.64, while platinum was down $14 at $8.87. And palladium gained $10 at $1,210 the ounce. This morning we have a turnaround. Like I said, bouncing off those lows. Overnight trading in a range from $1,913 all the way up to $1,931. Currently at $1,927.50. That's up $14.10. Silver up 11 cents at $22.75 the ounce. Platinum gaining $8 at $8.95, and palladium up $46 at $1,256. Oil, $84 a barrel. Higher oil prices meaning higher inflation, and the U.S. dollar is down again today.
Yeah, well, we mostly what we talk about with William Youngerman is bullion, right? But you also deal with people that are collectors, William Youngerman. Do a lot of people come to you who are collectors of coins or old money that are looking to add to their collection, or maybe looking for a specific bill or a specific coin? Do a lot of people come to you for that? And if so, how's that work?
Yes, indeed. We work with want lists for our collectors and investors, and have done so for 60 years nearly. In fact, right now I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, hitting the largest rare coin convention in the world, and have been here for a couple of days now, just filling a customer's want list and looking for great coins and paper money that our clients might be interested in.
So people actually call you up and say, hey, there's this particular coin or this bill I'm looking for. Can you get it for me? That's a regular thing.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, you hear that? So give him a call. William Youngerman's opens up at 10 a.m. He may be in Pittsburgh, but his staff are there at 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, online, williamyoungerman.com, or stop in, located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, this is the thing. Like yesterday, it's all over the internet. It's all over TV, with Ducey. Ducey asked that question of Biden, and they make a big news story out of it. It was a good question. He had a good moment. Let me play it for you. This is Ducey yesterday with Joe Biden. Oh, hold on. Let me turn up the volume. Here we go.
Where one of your son's former business associates is claiming that you were on speakerphone a lot with them, talking business. Is that what?
Never talk business in England. And I knew you'd have a lousy question.
Well, why is that a lousy question?
Because it's not true.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, now I'm not tearing down Ducey for that. I mean, that's a good question, and I'll give Peter Ducey credit. He has on more than one occasion, face to face, looking him straight in the eye, Joe Biden, and asked questions that he knows that he's going to snap back at him with, and that's not an easy thing to do to a president. It takes guts, especially when you're dealing with liberal Democrat presidents, because they're so nasty, and he's the only one who ever does that. With that being said, though, it seems to me they're asking the wrong questions. There's so many stories out there that are not being reported, okay? Like the one I was just talking about. I would love to, I don't have the resources to do this. I can only go through the news and use logic and put the pieces together and come up with a lot of conclusions. I don't have a staff. I don't have a team. I don't have a budget of reporters with expensive accounts and producers and things like that. But I don't think it would be that difficult for Fox News or some other corporate media outlet to go to Texas and get to the bottom of this food shortage at Fort Hood and find out if they have the military feeding the illegals while our soldiers are going hungry. That's an important story, especially if you're a soldier who's going hungry. But it shows again and again with the Biden regime. They always put others first, whether it's the cooks at the, I promise you that's where they are, because the story is out of Fort Hood. There's forts everywhere. The one that's short of the cooks is Fort Hood, closest to the southern border. So I think it's a logical conclusion. Right? It's not the other forts around the country about this. And this story leaked out, and I know by the sources that it leaked out to that the corporate media are aware of it, okay? And they don't, everything you look at shows that the Biden regime puts others before Americans each and every time. The cooks at the southern border, the baby formula at the southern border, right? In Ukraine. I'll give you a great example with Ukraine. You know, we're not only funding a military operation in Ukraine, we're supporting their entire government. Every bureaucrat's salary is coming from us. We're paying for their roads, their sewage, their trash pickup, their pensions, their government pensions, their form of Social Security. We're covering that. I was reading an article today about people in their early 60s struggling and thinking of, because things are so tough with the economy, how it's affecting those on Social Security. And some people that have taken their Social Security at 62 or 63 instead of full retirement age are having some big troubles because of the inflation. You know, and these are stories you get in Florida because we have so many retirees here. But I'll tell you what, there's no baby formula shortage in Ukraine, and their pensioners, like our Social Security recipients, they're not struggling in Ukraine because we're funding that. Biden and his entire team always put others ahead of Americans, and that is not going to end. That's just how they roll. Now, I want to tell you guys about Dr. Appleton, my chiropractor, who has rid me of pain 5 times with his laser away pain treatment. The laser away pain treatment works. It works on so many types of pains: arthritis, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, lumbar pain, herniated discs, sciatica, neck pain, stenosis, tinnitus, strains and sprains. You know, injuries like I've had. My arthritis, after one treatment, I had arthritis in my hand. After one treatment, the arthritis gone. It has not returned, and it's been a long time. The first treatment I got on my knee after years of suffering was over a year ago. The pain has not returned. My shoulder pain from my accident a couple weeks ago, gone. My shoulder pain. It has not returned after just 2 treatments with his laser away pain treatment, Dr. Appleton. It works. Now remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Last time I saw Dr. Appleton was on Saturday. There were a lot of listeners there because, you know, hey, listen, guys work, women work, and sometimes, you know, during the week, you know, it's tough. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. Now, when you call Dr. Appleton, if you need him to, he will have his office text you directions to his office to your cell phone, okay? You can find him online at appletonchiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. You know, we have listeners that have traveled on multiple occasions from out of state to see Dr. Appleton. We've had listeners from all over the state of Florida travel to see Dr. Appleton. We have listeners who travel an hour each way and even longer from different parts of South Florida to go see Dr. Appleton. And they'll tell you the laser away pain treatment it works. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio. So this is, over the weekend, I got to tell you, if you have plans over the weekend, cancel them. Because this weekend at the Iowa State Fair, Saturday is a weekend event, but Saturday's the big day. Okay? All the wannabes are going to be there, and Trump. Okay? And Trump's going to show up with this delegation of the Florida congressmen. He'll be speaking. It's going to be a massive event. And not only will he be speaking, I'm imagining Matt Gaetz and the others that are traveling with him will be speaking too. And we're in really the final couple weeks of some of these campaigns. If you think about it, like when the debates happen or when candidates start dropping out. Now, some of these candidates are fake candidates. Okay, I was explaining to you guys yesterday that Chris Christie is being funded by the uniparty Trump haters just so he can be on the debate stage with Trump and bark at him and ask him nasty questions and try to bully him. Okay, and so when it becomes obvious that Trump's not going to show up at the debates, Christie will be one of the first to drop out probably. They may keep him in a little longer to see if Trump will do the next debate, but if you go back to the last election cycle, the Democrats had a pretty large field, 1-2 debates, that's it, they start dropping. You know, Kamala Harris did 2 debates and dropped out, okay? And she was high profile. 2 debates, and she dropped out. So the first debate is 2 weeks from today. I believe it's on the 24th. And that's going to be afterwards. We find out if DeSantis is going to make it or not in his candidacy. I say no. You know, his donors are dropping him. He's fired so much of his staff because he's got no money coming in. And part of this desperate move that he made yesterday when he came back to Florida to fire that prosecutor in Orlando, I think what you're going to start to see with him is him do more stuff in Florida as governor. It'll be high profile. It'll always be on TV because he's a candidate and all that stuff. And he'll have a press event like he did yesterday. But I think he's going to try to make this slow transition back into being governor again because he's pretty much walked out on us. So it doesn't look like, well, I dropped out. He's just going to look like he's busy being governor. But this is the beginning of the end for him. But you know, these Democrats, they never are going to give up, the Democrats and the Uniparty, because one thing they do is they always got another scheme, okay? So there is this event that DeSantis has promised to do on Hannity's show on Fox where he's going to debate Newsom. I don't have the date on that, but that is a definite thing that's going to happen. So DeSantis is going to do whatever he has to do to ride it through that Newsom debate to see if he gets a bounce. And that's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. The only thing that comes close is when Ted Cruz was running in the primary in 2015 against Trump. He did a campaign event with that lady whose name I can't remember. She was the head of Compact, ran it into the ground, and she was running. And she came out as his running mate. Remember that? And everybody talked about how stupid it is. This debate between Newsom and DeSantis is an attempt to try to get them elevated in the polls and take control of the media narrative and get people talking about Newsom versus DeSantis as if that's what this is all about. That's going to happen, and then boom, he'll be done. Because first off, that debate's going to look stupid, okay? And no one's going to care about it. No one, because it's irrelevant. We know what has to be done, and that's to rally around Donald Trump. And by that time, you know, these court cases, we're going to have the Atlanta indictments, which will mean he'll go up even further in the polls. But I'll tell you this, we're going to be here every day covering all of it. And tomorrow, of course, is Friday, which is open phones on the program. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Friday's show, you can talk about anything and everything you have on your mind. You are not limited to the topics that we bring up. But before we end, I want to play this one last time because I played this at the top of the show. This was an unbelievable moment on Fox yesterday. The Lawrence Jones poll. Lawrence Jones did a poll live on Fox. He was, I don't know what the event was, but he was in South Dakota, and there were all these Republicans in attendance, and he asked them who they supported for the Republican nomination, and of course, you know, they supported Trump. But when he brought up the other names, the response is beautiful. Listen, this is Lawrence Jones on Fox yesterday.
I'm going to show of hands. When it comes to the 2024 race, who thinks that Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party?
Okay, now that's about everybody. I mean, you can hear everybody. I mean, that's just amazing. They're yelling, they're screaming. You hear Trump.
Race, who thinks that Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party? Okay, all right. How many people think Ron DeSantis is going to be the nominee?
Oh, it's silent except for the people that say no when he asked about DeSantis.
How many people think Ron DeSantis is going to be the nominee? Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, okay?
Oh, my goodness. So that's, oh, I know. That's like music to my ears. In fact, I might keep that soundbite. Maybe we'll play it from time to time just to liven things up because that's a good one. And I want to thank Lawrence Jones for his unofficial straw poll live on Fox News. Now listen, guys, we're out of time for today. We'll be back tomorrow, and as I said, tomorrow is Open Phones, Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Steve will be back with us tomorrow, and don't forget, if you missed part of the show, you can always go to trueoldiesfla.com, and each day, around an hour after we sign off, the whole show is uploaded there as a podcast. All right, guys, God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump.
WWNN Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, I got to run.